The KMHS Sports Pregame is brought to you by Kimberly Spicer, Attorney at Law and CPA, HSI Land Development, Bridges Hardware, .135 Real Estate, Forge Container Service, Hoppers Enterprise, Spake Concrete Products, Cody Barrett DDS, and Sky Country Transportation Services.
Good afternoon and welcome to Forestview High School for Week 5, featuring the 2-2 Jaguars of Forestview and the 3-1 Kings Mountain Mountaineers. I'm Drew Fulton along with Cooper Short. Cooper, big start tonight, Big South run. Here we're in Gastonia tonight. Just first impressions of this opening game of the Big South Conference for the Mountaineers.
Well, right about now, everybody's got enough film on them. You kind of know who does what they look like, how big and fast and slow and maybe stretching the field teams are. Surely by now, everybody's kind of got some kinks worked out, so I'm pretty excited to see what this is going to look like because, man, Kings Mountain has gotten better for a few weeks. Presumably Forestview's done the same thing, and so, yeah, this should be a pretty good football game.
Well, we'll try to cover the both Kings Mountain and, of course, Forestview. We'll tell you what's going on in other games tonight, so stay with us. More Mountaineer football to come. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
The KMHS Sports Pregame is brought to you by Kimberly Spicer, Attorney at Law and CPA, HSI Land Development, Bridges Hardware, .135 Real Estate, Forge Container Service, Hoppers Enterprise, Spake Concrete Products, Cody Barrett DDS, and Sky Country Transportation Services.
Back here live at Forestview High School for the Mountaineer pregame show. Cooper, let's get started. Let's look back at last week for both of these two teams. We'll start, of course, with the Forestview Jaguars. Last week, the Jaguars traveled to Lake Norman Charter to take on the Knights. Ended up in a 42-28 win for Forestview. Number 7, Phillips, threw for 79 yards. He was 7 of 16, 1 passing touchdown. He also rushed for 25 yards, 6 carries, 2 rushing touchdowns when he carried the ball. Number 3, Bowers, was the leading rusher, 13 carries, 111 yards, and 2 scores. Turnovers really hurt Forestview, even though they got the win. 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions. Looking, that ball game could have looked completely different, especially at halftime. Lake Norman outscored Forestview 28-13, but Forestview made some adjustments at halftime. Jaguars put up 28 unanswered points, put the game away. Is it challenging, to manage to come up with a win with all of those turnovers?
Yeah, always. I mean, this sounds obvious to say, but I'll just say it out loud anyways. When you don't have the football, it's hard to score with it, and every time you give the football away, it gives another team another possession. Depending on the team you're playing, particularly if they're a running team, they take time away from you, and yeah, that's a major uphill climb when you have turnovers.
Well, we'll have to see how good they are on the turnover aspect for tonight. Last week, of course, Kings Mountain traveled to take on a very well-coached Charlotte Catholic team. Ended up with a loss 28-21. Bell was 19 of 29, 228 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown. Not the best night for the Mountaineers in the running game. Only 67 yards rushing. The Cougars' defense very stingy when it comes to running the ball, with Dry still recovering. Number 25, Coleman. Number 29, Hauser carried the ball for the Mountaineers. Bell was able to spread the ball around 6 different receivers. Hopper, Hutchins, Camp, Branch, and Vaughn and Hauser all had receptions. Hutchins and Vaughn, of course, had the most. Hutchins with 7 grabs, 97 yards, and Big Tex Vaughn with 4 catches, 71 yards, and 2 really big touchdowns. Cooper, last week with the loss, we didn't leave Charlotte feeling as defeated as we have in the past. It was a good game, I think, to learn from, and I think that game could really favor us down the road with some of the things we learned.
I think it's a good take. Charlotte Catholic is one of those places where you have to play not only their team but their culture. They're used to winning. They're used to running what they run, and it's very simple, but they do a really good job. And so I agree with you. The game went differently than I thought it would. There were some things we obviously could have done better down the stretch. We kind of had a couple of big hits and a couple of drop passes there toward the end of the game. But you make a great point. I think you walk away from that feeling pretty good about an offense that Catholic runs very, very similar to what South Point runs, that we're going to wind up seeing something like that again and could potentially see in the postseason. So I think you're right.
Well, I did like the fact that once the Mountaineers figured out they were going to have a hard time running the ball, they opened it up to the pass, and it worked very well.
Yeah, I mean, as you can tell by the stat line, KJ never really has a favorite guy. He likes to give it to the guy who's open. Last week, I think he showed that by passing the ball around to dudes who are running good routes. And so, yes, when you can walk away from a game with a stat line where you've got multiple guys with catches, multiple guys with double-digit yardage, that looks like an efficient offense. That's a good thing.
Well, it's a 7:30 start tonight, not a 7 o'clock like we had last week. Kind of threw us off a little bit. So stay with us. We've got more Mountaineer pregame to come. Don't go anywhere. This is a presentation of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club and KMHS Sports. Back right after this.
The KMHS Sports pregame is brought to you by Kimberly Spicer, attorney at law and CPA. HSI Land Development. Bridges Hardware. .135 Real Estate. Portage Container Service. Hoppers Enterprise. Spake Concrete Products. Cody Barrett DDS. And Sky Country Transportation Services.
Back here live at Forestview High School, getting ready for the Jaguars. And the Mountaineers open up the Big South Conference tonight here in Gastonia. Last week, let's look at let's talk. Well, first of all, let's talk about Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. We want to thank them for bringing this presentation to you. Well, I know it's just audio only this week. That's Gaston County. Hopefully, we'll get that straightened out maybe next season. But we're glad to bring what we can to you wherever you happen to be, and it's all because of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. If you're not a member of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club, you need to be. Just contact, of course, David or Maureen Brinkley. Talk to one of the coaches. Talk to anybody on the staff, the AD, anybody pretty much with the school. They'll tell you exactly how to get involved with the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. Plus, you can log on to KingsMountainTouchdownClub.com. You can see all the information, all the schedules, and everything that we do. And it's not just football that they support. They support everything Kings Mountain High School, and we are so thankful for the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. All right, let's look at tonight's game a little bit. Let's start with Forestview. 2-2 this season. The Jaguars hoping to finish in a better situation than they did last year when they finished dead last in the Big South Conference. The only conference win they had last week or last year come from a struggling North Gaston team. The Jaguars will have to find a way to run the ball on the outside because the Mountaineers' defense is pretty sound up front and will be hard to move the balls in between the tackles. We expect to see number 3 Bowers carry the ball a lot for the Jaguars. He's averaging so far this season 8.3 yards a carry. He has at least 100-plus yard game this season. They're going to have to move the ball to give Forestview a chance to win this ball game, Cooper.
Yeah, that's right. I've been looking at their stats here, doing a little bit of math because I was a history major, and they seem to be running the ball pretty efficiently. They're averaging almost 7 yards a clip off the ground, and so, man, high school football is so interesting in this state, especially in kind of the middle of the classification range. If they can get something going on the ground, not only does that give them a chance to have success on offense, but it also eats up clock and keeps the ball out of the hands of the other team. You're right, they're going to probably have to try to find a way to do that creatively. Kings Mountain has done a really good job, I think, of playing the edge this year. They do a good job with their slants. They seem to be pretty gap sound, but Forestview could be a test because Kings Mountain has not had some of their brightest moments trying to match up against teams who run the ball pretty efficiently.
Well, I will put in the fact that they are 2-2. Their 2 wins came against East Gaston here at Forestview and on the road at Lake Norman Charter. But both of those programs combined have a record of 2-5 right now.
Sure.
So not the quality, the quality of teams that like Kings Mountain has played so far.
Yeah, that's true. And one thing I remember about them last year, a lot of these guys come back. I think their quarterback is back, if I'm not mistaken. They were able to get guys open, but they had a hard time sometimes getting the ball to them. So I'll be curious to see what kind of offense Forestview has for this game, because Kings Mountain, some of the things that I was assuming would be kind of defensive inefficiencies have ended up being kind of their strong suit. One of those things being how well the defensive front 4, front 6 are playing. So, yeah, we'll see.
Well, let's talk about the other side of the ball. The Mountaineers come into this game 3-1. Tough loss last week to Charlotte Catholic. I think the Mountaineers will be ready for a fight tonight. Bell averages 161 yards a game in the air. A ton of receivers to throw it to, so no lack of talent there. Kings Mountain, the first and foremost is they're going to have to get the running game going tonight like they couldn't last week. I expect to see Coleman carry the ball a lot tonight. Forestview will have their hands full, I think, stopping the Mountaineer running game. With Kings Mountain, the best thing that they can do is keep Kings Mountain's offense off the field.
Yeah, I think it's a good take. Kings Mountain's passing efficiency is better than you would assume it would be with a young quarterback. They're 60% on the season in terms of completions, with only 4 INTs from the pass game this year, and with a basically brand new kid playing quarterback who's young, who's learning the new offense. That's really good. And so I think last week was a testament to them that when they get stopped from doing the easy thing, which is running the ball, they can sometimes do the other easy thing, which is throwing the ball. So I'm curious to see if they maybe do some similar things as they did last week, but you never know. Don't really know what to expect just yet. I haven't seen Forestview run any plays, so we will see.
Well, one thing I have enjoyed from the Mountaineers this year is it's fairly balanced between a run and pass. The last couple of years we've seen more of a running or passing type offense, and they ran when we had to. But this year they balanced it up a little bit, with the run and the pass.
Yeah, and here too, halfway through the season, you haven't eclipsed the point where you must run the things you have to. Sometimes right now you're only running the things you need to because you're trying to hedge against different parts of your playbook. Kids are just now starting to learn the base foundation of the playbook, and so, yeah, they have been really balanced up into this point. Usually about halfway through the season, teams start to kind of show their hand one way or the other. But, yeah, these numbers look good. I haven't seen them on paper before, but I'm excited to see what they come out and do today.
Well, stay with us. We'll check in with what would Coach Klein do. We'll also check in to see what games are going on in the area and the games we will be looking forward to tonight for the Caldwell Banker Farm Bureau CNC Scrap Iron and Metal Scoreboard. So stay with us. More Mountaineer pregame to come. Don't go anywhere.
The KMHS Sports Pregame is brought to you by Kimberly Spicer, attorney at law and CPA, HSI Land Development, Bridges Hardware, .135 Real Estate, Horge Container Service, Hoppers Enterprise, Spake Concrete Products, Cody Barrett DDS, and Sky Country Transportation Services.
Back here live at Forestview High School, getting ready for the Mountaineers and the Jaguars kickoff. Just about 13 minutes away before we get underway tonight. This audio-only broadcast. Let's check out some games that we might see in the Caldwell Banker Farm Bureau CNC Scrap Iron and Metal scoreboard. Several good ones in the Big South tonight. You've got 3-1 Hunter Huss traveling to play the Wildcats North Gaston 1-3. Your pick on that one, Cooper?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Hunter Huss. They seem like their offense looks pretty good this year, and North Gaston's still trying to figure a lot of things out. I know from personal experience, I got some friends in and around the program. They're playing a lot of younger guys, and so, yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Hunter Huss.
Probably the biggest game in the Big South tonight, undefeated matchup between South Point at Ashbrook.
It's hard to say, man. I'm hearing very similar things about both teams, which is that they returned a lot of guys. They look pretty good. You've got some kind of battle of conflicting philosophies. South Point obviously running a lot of this kind of triple option type stuff. Ashbrook having a high-powered offense. They have a really good quarterback. He seems pretty efficient on the season. If I had to make a pick, they got him twice last year. I think they don't do it again. I'm going to go South Point.
Well, I'm going to go Ashbrook on them because they're home team.
Fair enough.
If it was in Belmont, hands down, I think I'd go South Point. But I'm going to have to give it to the Green Wave tonight playing home. We've got the Burns Bulldogs 1-3 at the 1-3 Bessemer City Yellow Jackets. Now, I'll start first. Burns, I knew was going to be young going into the season. I think that there's still probably more than the Yellow Jackets can handle because the Yellow Jackets have problems to work out. But I will say this. If the Yellow Jackets want to win against the Burns program, tonight might be the best opportunity they're going to get in a while.
Yeah, I think it's a good take. One of the things that I remember from Kings Mountain playing Burns is kind of how big Burns is and how well they run the ball. And I think if they just kind of stick to that, they can get in and get out with a win. So I think I'm going to have to go with Burns.
Well, Burns is a little bit younger this year than they have been in the past. But Bessemer City it's got some issues coaching-wise and other things. So they've got some things to figure out before they continue to build on that program. Another pair of local talent, Cherryville 3-1, great start for the Ironmen, but they travel to Shelby tonight and take on the Golden Lions, which are 2-2, but don't let that 2-2 record fool you.
Sure, yeah. This is one of those games that when you look at it on paper, you want to pick the team that's got the better record, but we've seen Shelby kind of get a slow start this year. That's because they had to play a couple of pretty big county rival games. Cherville's having a great season. Don't want to take anything from them, but I've seen Shelby in person, and they probably will be a little too imposing. I'm going to have to pick the Golden Lions here.
Highland Tech, winless yet this season. They travel to Stuart Kramer, which is undefeated, 3-0. Stuart Kramer, the Storm, has come out doing a great job this year since they're not in the Big South Conference. So you got Highland Tech at Stuart Kramer tonight.
Highland Tech seems to be, this is just from box score watching, Highland Tech seems to be having a really tough time this season scoring points. Stuart Kramer actually has a pretty decent offense, and so I think I'm going to have to give the edge to Stuart Kramer. I think they'll score enough points. I think they'll keep the ball long enough. Highland Tech's not going to be able to play tit-for-tat there.
Well, Highland Tech never has a depth of a good quality team, so if they don't score it within the first half, they're not going to score it in the second.
Yeah, it's a good take.
Drawn, I put this score on here just because both schools are winless. The 0-3 Drawn. What is Drawn's mascot? I cannot remember.
Are they the Wildcats?
They might be.
They might be. They're
Drawn
black and gold.
at the Hilltoppers, RS Central, 3-0, 0-3 as well. So one of these programs are going to get their first win tonight. I'd have to go for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, this takes me back, man. Nostalgia is hitting me right between the eyes because when I was in high school, this was my conference. And so, yes, RS Central, I think, has a little bit more of a football culture. Drawn's a relatively new school. Without knowing really anything about these teams, my coin flip would tell me I'm going to have to go RS Central.
Well, let's take just a pause here for the national anthem. We'll be back with more Mountaineer pregame after this.
The KMHS Sports Pregame is brought to you by Kimberly Spicer, attorney at law and CPA. HSI Land Development. Bridges Hardware. Point 135 Real Estate. Horge Container Service. Hoppers Enterprise. Spake Concrete Products. Cody Barrett DDS. And Sky Country Transportation Services.
Back here at Forestview High School, national anthem's out of the way, getting ready for the kickoff. About 6 minutes here are the Mountaineers and the Jaguars. Just one last team that I put on our Caldwell Banker Farm Bureau CNC Scrap Iron and Metal scoreboard. The winless East Gaston Warriors at the 3-1 Lincolnton Wolves. Lincolnton's looking good this year, especially since they're in the same conference of Shelby. I think that they could give Shelby a run for their money this year for the conference. I don't think Shelby no longer has to kind of coast, and get that conference championship anymore with South Point in the way. I mean, with Lincolnton in the way. Yeah,
I think that's a good take. It seems like Lincolnton in particular is returning back to the form they were in 5, 8, 10 years ago when all of the various Surratt brothers were coming through Lincoln County. Lincolnton seems to be kind of rounding into a better final form. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with the Wolves here. They're having a good year. I don't think that really ends today.
Well, we'll try to keep track of some of those scores as we go through the evening. Just go ahead and let's move on to one of the favorite segments here. I don't think, Cooper, you've ever been a part of what would Coach Klein do. And once I can get it loaded up here, we'll go ahead and I got to close that off. Go ahead and do this, and of course we'll start it off with your father's favorite part of it.
Oh, that's fine.
We can't hear them, but they can.
Come on, everybody. All right, this is it. Okay? This is the play. This is the play. This is the play. Okay. The quarterback. 2 receivers lined up to the left, 1 to the right. There's a flanker lined up to the left, behind the quarterback. Okay. He gives the ball. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get the ball. The receiver goes all the way over there to the left. Once the quarterback has the ball, he fakes to the left. No. He fakes to the right. He doesn't fake. He thinks about faking. He pretends to fake. I don't know where I am. I can't breathe. Oh, this room is getting smaller. I have to sit down. Hang on here. Hey, come on.
Your father's favorite part of the night, what would Coach Klein do? We're going to give Cooper Short, you're now the head coach of the Forestview Jaguars. How do you defeat the Mountaineers? How do you go 1-0 in the Big South Conference after tonight?
I think offensively, if you've watched tape on Kings Mountain for the last 4 games, it becomes pretty easy to see that if you're going to have offensive success, you probably have to be able to run the ball. Kings Mountain has done a pretty good job of hemming up the run game, depending on the certain drive in certain weeks. But for the most part, when Burns found a rhythm, they ran the ball on Kings Mountain. When Catholic was able to find a rhythm, they ran the ball on Kings Mountain. There were even times in the Shelby game when it seemed like Shelby was able to get 5 and 6 yards a clip if they ran the right gap scheme kind of stuff. And so if I'm Coach Klein and I need to beat the Mountaineers and I coach the Jaguars, I think I really need to try and run the ball on offense. On defense, it's pretty simple. Kings Mountain has a lot of guys that can take the ball and make things happen. You've got to play really assignment-sound defense. I don't know. We'll see in just a moment whether they're a press man team, if they like to play cover 2, if they like to play a shell. I haven't really seen their tape, so we'll find out all together. But it will be the tail of the tape for them if they can kind of stay home, because Kings Mountain, any given offensive play, has got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that can turn a pitch, a catch, into a house call.
Forestview, the Jaguars, what's your first play from scrimmage?
Man, first play from scrimmage. I think I'm probably going to line up in some kind of fullback personnel. We used to call it 20 personnel. So you probably have a tailback and a fullback. I would probably put them to the field, and I would try to run some form of a probably gap scheme play that gives you a block down, a kick, and a wrap. You can see if Kings Mountain is going to slant to you or away from you. It'll give you good angles. It'll probably allow you to run off maybe 3-4 yards a clip if you can get it to work. That will also allow you to turn things into play action later because a lot of defenses follow the guards. If you're moving guards around, people can kind of follow and see what's going on. Maybe you can get some success running some dump plays, maybe running some RPOs. So I would have to line up in the spirit of Joe Reinheimer, which I'm sure no one listening to my voice knows who he is. I would line up in lap blue, and I would run 21 pit. That's what I would do.
I will take the helm of the Mountaineers tonight, and I would try to do what we couldn't do last week. I would establish the run and build off it, and then build the pass off the run. Mountaineers have got to find a way to run between the tackles. I believe they'll have more success than they did last week.
Yeah.
I do not think the Forestview Jaguars is as strong up front as Catholic was last week. So first and foremost, they got to start off the run. Now the first play from scrimmage, I'm going to open it up. I'm throwing the home run ball all night long.
Yeah, I think it's a good take. One of the things about playing a team last week in Catholic that kind of runs something on offense that you don't, it's hard to prepare for them. The same is true for them on defense. What you run, they're not prepared for. So I'll be curious to see how Kings Mountain's able to throw the ball tonight because they had success going to that last week where they're throwing on a team that doesn't normally have to deal with a throwing quarterback at practice, and you practice way more than you play. But I think it's a good call, man. Go ahead and take a moonshot. It's week 5. You might as well see what you're made of. I'd go for it. I think it's a great call.
All right, we're getting ready for the kickoff. We'll take our last break here in the pregame. Thank you so much for joining to the Mountaineer pregame. The kickoff is coming up next.
The KMHS Sports Pregame is brought to you by Kimberly Spicer, attorney at law and CPA, HSI Land Development, Bridges Hardware, .135 Real Estate, Forge Container Service, Hoppers Enterprise, Spake Concrete Products, Cody Barrett DDS, and Sky Country Transportation Services.
Back here live at Forestview High School getting ready for the kickoff. The Mountaineers did win the toss. They have elected to defer to the second half, so Forestview will get the opening kickoff. Vance Johnson getting ready to tee it up and kick it off deep to Forestview.
Looks like number 8, Marcus Rhodes, is back deep for the Jaguars.
And this game is underway. Kicking it returnable around to the 10-yard line, up to the 15, 20-yard line. Got a hole to run through, closes shortly. Mountaineers will stop him around the 21, 22-yard line. Forestview will take over 1st and 10 from there.
Number 3, Taheen Bowers with the return right there. As soon as they picked up a few yards. Kings Mountain's coverage was pretty good. Looks like the kickoff coverage ran to exactly where the ball was kicked. It's almost like they designed it that way.
1st and 10 for the Jaguars from the 20-yard line, from their own 20-yard line.
Kings Mountain's coming out, 4 men up front, 3 in the backfield. Looks like Tex is going to be playing to the field. Looks like he's going to be apexing between number 2 and the end of the line of scrimmage.
Phillips, your quarterback, number 7 tonight.
Single high safety for the Mountaineers.
Puts a man in motion, hands it ball off right up the middle. Mountaineers stop it dead, no place to go. He'll make it back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. 2nd down.
They started with two backs in the backfield. Kings Mountain seemed like they kind of just added a guy to the box, and so it looked like Forestview was kind of legitimately outnumbered right there.
So they'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. They'll stay with that two running back set in the backfield, the pistol formation. Phillips hands it off once again. He gets dropped in the backfield. That's number three Bowers on the carry once again. He's going to lose maybe a yard or two.
Yeah, Lathan Feemster came through pretty much unblocked right there. He made that tackle in the backfield. It looked like kind of a shoestring tackle, but he flipped the guy because he's kind of a big dude. Kings Mountain's got both their safeties in the box. Looks like they're expecting Forestview to pretty much just run the ball.
Passing situation here for Forestview.
It's like you've got man defense to the boundary. You've got soft covers to the field, single high safety.
Phillips back to throw, looking for the home run ball. In and out of his hands, and they'll throw the flag.
Silas Tate may have held on too long on the coverage right there. Guy got behind him when he flipped his hips. It's like he grabbed onto the pads.
Rhodes was the intended receiver. Pass interference is the call. So a new set of chains for Jacksonville. And I know I was going to say Jacksonville. I'm going to say it all night long.
Trevor Lawrence.
For new set of downs for the Jaguars. I think it was a pretty good call. I believe
so. He held on a little too long. And just a reminder for everybody, there's no uncatchable rule in high school. I know you can't see the play, and the ball was catchable, but a lot of people seem to think that there's an uncatchable rule in high school. There is, in fact, not. At least last time I checked, there's not an uncatchable rule in high school.
Phillips comes to the line again. He's got one running back this time.
Forestview's FIB, so Kings Mountain's running press man to the boundary. We've got one single high safety, 4 down linemen.
Trips up high. They'll give it right off the middle to number 3 again. That's Bowers. Nowhere to run. Mountaineers sniff it out pretty quickly. Brings up a 2nd and 11. Ball resting around the 32-yard line.
1 yard loss on the play brings up 2nd and 11 for the Jaguars.
We could be on offense already if it wasn't for that last penalty.
That's very true.
Hand the ball off once again to the right side. Student body left. That's number 9, the ball carrier, Little John.
Yeah, Forestview ran almost looked like outside zone, maybe a little pin and pull right there. They tried to get to the edge. They got a couple of yards, but Kings Mountain was on the tackle there. I think they saw it coming.
Trying to run the stretch on it and brings up 3rd and 9. Only gained 1 yard. So another passing situation here for Forestview. Two receivers to the high side, one receiver to this near side.
Yeah, they've got a receiver tight bunch, almost like in kind of a tight end spot. So they got doubles.
Phillip fakes the handoff, looking to throw right over the middle, in and out of his hands, almost picked off by the Mountaineers, incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
It was interesting right there. Kings Mountain rushed with 4 guys, and they sent their 5th guy, but it almost looked like he was QB spying. We've had a couple of issues this season with trying to cover a running quarterback, so it's probably a good call.
So it brings up a 4th down situation. There was a holding call on the Jaguars, but it was declined, so 4th down, and the punt team will go in for Forestview. So the Mountaineers able to hold off the first possession for Forestview. And besides the penalty, maybe only 2 or 3 positive yards for Forestview on that drive.
Yeah, very true. Seems like they're getting a lot of pressure really with just 4 or 5 guys. They did run a blitz on one of those plays. They sent 6 guys, but yeah, for the most part, they look pretty stout up front. Kings Mountain's got 2 returners in on punt team. Xavier Hutchins and Devin Hopper, they're back deep.
Rhodes back to punt the ball off. It's a high kick. It's going to be returnable around the 20-yard line to the 25, 30. He's got a hole to run through up to the 40. Still on his feet, 50, 40. He's only got a man or 2 to beat.
I think it's going to be a house call, Drew.
All the way to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Kings Mountain.
Oop, there's a flag on the field.
And there is a flag on the play. Penalty flags around the 47-yard line. Both teams are kind of walking back this way. Holding against Kings Mountain, so that will negate the touchdown.
Man, one of the things I've been impressed with all season with Kings Mountain's kick returners is that they actually return the ball. They actually catch the ball and they return the ball, and when you do that in high school, things like that play, though it was called back, plays like that play spring open because you're willing to put your foot in the ground and go. It's a good thing.
So 1st and 10, 37-yard line for Kings Mountain.
Foresterview's lined up in a 3-3 stack. They've got one single high safety. It looks like they're trying to run press man, most of our receivers.
3 wide receivers to this near side, 1 to the high side. That's Tex. Hand the ball off right on the left side. He's got some running room up to the 50. He'll bring him down around the 49-yard line, so the Mountaineers able to pick up maybe 14 yards on the opening play. 1st and 10 Mountaineers.
You know, it's interesting that Forestview came out in a 3-3 stack. 3-3 stack is hard to mathematically draw plays for sometimes. We're kind of a gap scheme team, so we're always looking for kind of one-on-ones with some double teams. And 3-3 stack can pose a problem, but right there didn't seem to be much of a problem for the Mountaineers at all.
So twins to either side. Man in motion for the Mountaineers. Bell called protection coverage. Coleman in the backfield as the running back. He misses one tackle, hits the hole, picks up maybe 5 yards on the carry. 2nd and 5.
Forestview so far on this drive is running pretty much straight up man on our receivers. I mean, we sent a guy in motion, and they sent a guy all the way across the formation with him. I think they do not want to get anybody behind them. So they're running straight up press man with really about 5 yards of cushion on either side.
Same formation, twins to either side. Bell and shotgun calling his signals. Hands the ball off right up the middle, makes a move, but brought down quickly by Forestview at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and about 5.
Forestview was showing blitz right there. Pre-snap looks like they really meant it. It seemed to me, at least, it looked like we tried to run zone right there, and mathematically on the 3-3 stack.
Coleman trying to make a man miss and just could not make him miss that tackle.
That's right.
Good tackle by Forestview. Same formation, 2 receivers high, 2 receivers low. Coleman still your running back in the backfield. 3rd and 5. 1 high safety for Forestview. And flag on the play. They're going to say delay a game. Delay a game against Kings Mountain. So 3rd and 10. The play clock on the field is not running.
It goes from 60 to 0. That's not good.
So they're keeping it on the field. Bell back to throw. He's got an open receiver, but just could not connect to Tex on the outside. And it will bring up a 4th and 10.
Bring on the punt team.
We've seen the Mountaineers already at least one time run a fake punt in this situation. Maybe a little bit too early in this game to try it, but you never know.
Never put anything past Straight Heron.
Lance Johnson getting ready to punt it away for the Mountaineers. And it is a good punt by the Mountaineers. They'll field it around the 15. Mountaineers trying to bring him down around the 20 and do so. He might make it up to the 21.
It was a good kick by Vance. It was about a 30. It was about a 30 or 40 yard punt. It was a little low, but it was a good kick. Snap was good. That's what you need to see.
Vance is averaging about 34.5 yards a punt this year. And has done a great job for the Mountaineers at the punting duties.
Oh, yeah, big time. Vance is a really good decision maker as a punter. Punters are almost like quarterbacks in some ways, and Vance does a pretty good job handling the ball, making good decisions at good times.
So no score, 1st and 10 for the second possession here for Forestview.
Kings Mountain's
Actually,
come out
third,
in a
I'm
3-3
sorry.
stack, it looks like.
No, second, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hands the ball off right up the middle this time. Able to get a few yards on that play. That's number 3, the ball carrier, Bowers.
Colleen Bowers, the ball carrier, up forward to the 28-yard line.
So all the way up to the 28-yard lines. They're going to give them a gain of 8, so 2nd and 2, a long 2 for Forestview.
So far through a drive and a play, Kings Mountain is really daring Forestview to run. They've pretty much got all of their defensive personnel inside the tackle box. They've backed a safety out on this play, but for the most part, they're kind of daring them to throw. Kings Mountain's back with a 4-man front, 3 backers in the backfield, press man on both sides.
3 receiver set, one halfback in motion, giving off the left side. The Mountaineers are right there to scoop him up. If he makes it back to the line of scrimmage, he'll be doing good. I think they're going to lose. He's going to lose maybe 2 yards.
Samaj Odoms ate that up. He knew exactly that it was coming his way. I think a slant helped him out there. They did a really good job gobbling it up.
So they go from 2nd and 2 to now 3rd and 4. Still a 3 receiver set, 2 halfbacks in the backfield for Phillips and shotgun. Tries to get the Mountaineers to jump. And we have done that more than I'd like to say that we've done it.
They did a good job sitting in there, but they did flinch.
So they'll take a timeout. Forestview will take a timeout, so will we. Stay with us. No score here at Forestview. We'll be back after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Christy Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting, Carter Bank and Trust. Live life to the fullest. The Venue at Turkey Ridge. Butler's Tire and Auto Service. And John Gamble with Carolina Golf.
You pass them out to anybody.
Back here at Forestview High School, no score. 4:01 to go here in this first quarter. Second possession here for Forestview and a big 3rd down play for them. Ball sits on the 27-yard line.
Forestview's keeping that split back look. And it's interesting because it's keeping Kings Mountain. It's pretty much moving their whole defense into the box. We got 2 high safeties. One of our safeties is pretty firmly walked down.
Fakes the handoff. Phillips rolls out, tries to find a receiver. Underthrown, flag throwed. But I don't know why.
Yeah, where it is looks interesting. I wonder if he's got a defensive holding call or if he sees a legal man downfield.
He's given the symbol that illegal man downfield.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which,
although I didn't see a black jersey really farther than 3 yards off the line. I think in high school it's 3 yards. Maybe I'm making that up. Terry Prince, let me know.
So it'll bring up 4th down. That penalty will be declined. So the punting team will go back on the field for Forestview. Oh, I didn't put him up. I'm sorry. There we go.
Terry Prince will let me know. I can't remember. In the NFL, I think it's 1 yard. In college, I think it's 3. In high school, I think it's are they paying attention or not.
So Rhodes will drop back to punt for Forestview.
Good snap.
Punting around his 12-yard line. A low punt this time. It'll roll dead around the 45-yard line. So Kings Mountain will take a 1st and 10 at the 45. This will be their second. Second time on offense. 3:35 here. No score here in Gastonia. You hear that? We missed the pregame tailgate. I wasn't aware that they had it.
Well, I technically have 2 addresses right now because I just moved houses, so if they sent me an invite, maybe I went to the wrong house.
Mountaineers come up in a 5-receiver set. Bell calls the signals. Fakes the handoff. He rolls to the right. Got plenty of time to throw the ball. Is connected across the 50. Pulls it all the way up to around the 46-yard line.
William Tex Vaughn with a little bit of an arrow route across the formation. KJ threw a really good ball right there because Tex was in front of his defender and then behind him, and KJ really wanted to throw it there, and so he actually ended up kind of throwing it over the defender. That's a hard pass to make in that kind of situation.
Short
right
gain, 2nd and 4.
Defense is staying in that 3-3 stack. They want to run man on our receivers. They got 1 single high safety.
Hands the ball off right up the middle of Coleman. Nowhere to go. Forestview closes the hole very quickly. They'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and about 4. Maybe a long 3. Kings Mountain looking for their first down. Bell back to throw, throwing the long ball. He's got a man this time. It's caught all the way down to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Kings Mountain.
Man, what a great ball by KJ Bell. William Tex Vaughn was able to get past his corner. He was pretty much wide open. KJ put that in exactly where it needed to be. Any later, it might have been an INT. That was a great ball by KJ. If Forestview rushed 3 and dropped 8, they showed blitz and then they ended up dropping pretty much 8 guys into coverage. They're still running man. Man, just a good play by the Mountaineers.
So Kings Mountain draws first blood, puts 6 on the board. Ball is up for the extra point, and it is good. So the Mountaineers lead at 7-0. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football to come right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Innovative Pool Design, Long Branch Land and Water, Brittany Austin and Company, Carolina Elite Plumbing Services, where plumbing's done right, Brad Moffitt with Carolina Chiropractic, and Flooring America.
Overcharging. Back here live at Forestview High School, Mountaineers put 7 on the board. They lead the game 7-0 here in this first quarter. 1:46 to go as we open up this game here in Gastonia. Vance Johnson getting ready to kick the ball away. 1 receiver deep for Forestview. That's number 8, Marcus Rhodes. Johnson, 2 touchbacks this year, kicking the ball off.
Well, the last kickoff we kicked almost what is, effectively a pooch kick to our. They've got kind of 2 shallow receivers. We kicked it straight to one of the 2 shallow receivers. See if they do that again.
So the ball is up in the air, kicks it deep this time. It's going to take a good Kings Mountain roll and go into the end zone.
Good kick by Vance. The ball landed about the 2 and took a very generous roll, wound up being a touchback. It's a good thing.
So Forestview will come out, take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, which, if memory serves me correct, that's where they started last possession.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I'll be curious to see if at some point if Forestview decides to try to move their pocket. They're really having a hard time kind of staying within the tackles and kind of doing anything meaningful. But earlier there were a couple of plays where QB had to boot and looked like he had some open guys underneath for check down routes. I'd be curious to see if they start to try to do that intentionally. They do have a different offensive backfield this time. Looks like they're going to start with 1 back in the backfield. They've got a receiver lined up where a tight end would be. He's real tight bunch to the line, so basically they're running doubles.
So Phillip makes the call. He'll drop back to throw over to his halfback, but picked off by the Mountaineers and walked into the end zone. Touchdown, Kings Mountain.
Pass intercepted on the play by William Vaughn. Returns it for a Kings
Big Tex Vaughn You can't get anything by him. Easy pickoff for Kings Mountain, and they put 6 more on the board.
Yeah, I think that happened to be right place, right time for Tex, and wrong place, wrong time for the QB's eyes. As soon as post snap happened, they were kind of looking in the same place. I don't know if QB1 realized that. He threw the ball right to him. It was an easy touchdown for Tex Vaughn.
So the defense gets their score for the night. The offense has scored. Hopefully the special teams will get an opportunity later. Mountaineers lining up to put the extra point on the board. Kick is up, and it's through the uprights, and it is good. Mountaineers lead it 14-0. It's here in the first quarter. 1:12 to go here in the first quarter. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football to come after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimists, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.
Back here at Forestview High School, Mountaineers lead at 14-0 on a quick Texas Vaughn interception. Just kind of a swing pass is really the way I would describe it.
Yeah, pretty much.
He was right in the way.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the running back pretty much he ran what you would call a rail route. It's kind of where you go now and sort of kind of run almost this kind of wheel up the sideline. But, man, the QB was looking for it, and Tex was looking at the QB, which is what he's supposed to do, playing outside linebacker, and it was just one of those calls that happened to be right place, right time for the defense.
Vance Johnson kicks it off, and he kicks it shallow this time. They'll fill it around the 15 up to the 20, 25-yard line, but the Mountaineers will close any holes open. They'll take a 1st and 10, looks like from the 24-yard line for Forestview. Good crowd for the Mountaineer nation as they traveled here to, I guess, can we consider this South Gastonia?
Well, I came from Dallas where I work, and, I had to drive a long way pretty much directly south. So, yes, I think we can effectively call this South Gastonia, almost the land of Lucas Saldo.
I drove over here tonight with Mike Hayes. I think we've already eyed the Waffle House we're going to hit after this game.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
There you go. Bill makes Phillips makes his calls in the backfield for Forestview. Hands the ball off. That's Bowers on the left side, trying to find some running room.
Flag on the play post-snap. Maybe too many guys lined up in the backfield, I'd have to imagine. Illegal procedure, I think they call it.
Up to the 26-yard line. Get the 2 on the play, brings up 2nd and 8.
So illegal procedure call against Forestview.
Kings Mountain's defense backed off a little bit on that play. We had 2 safeties really running kind of a too high look. I'm noticing both on offense and on special teams, number 8, Marcus Rhodes. I think Forestview's really trying to get him the ball. They're trying to run some play designs and really trying to get him the ball on kickoff return.
So 1st and 15 for Forestview. 1 halfback set this time for Phillips in the backfield. Trips to this near side, which is the wide side of the field.
And they're spread out, kind of like Josh Heupel is running the offense. Very wide.
Hand the ball off to the left side again. That's Bowers. He's found some running room. Mountaineers are able to stop him before he gets to the 30-yard line. So not a first down, but a good pickup. It looks like some extracurricular activities after the play. Officials trying to, no flags on the field. Officials getting in the way.
That's a good run by Bowers, man. He kind of ran straight through an arm tackle, and when you've got the edge like that and guys are crashing back in, that's a great run by him. Just kind of keeping your hips about you and just powering through.
So that'll be the end of the first quarter. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football to come right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Christy Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting, Carter Bank and Trust. Live life to the fullest. The venue at Turkey Ridge. Butler's Tire and Auto Service. And John Gamble with Carolina Golf.
Back here live in Gastonia, South Gastonia, Mountaineers and the Jaguars to open up the Big South Conference tonight. Mountaineers up 14-0. As we get ready to start the second quarter of play, Mountaineers able to put an offensive score and a defensive score on the board. So good 10-yard pickup by Bowers. It'll bring up second and about 5. Ball resting right at the 27-yard line of Forestview. Mountaineers in their white jerseys on top, black pants, black helmets. Forestview all black tonight with a little white and silver. Forestview trying to get Kings Mountain to jump, and Kings Mountain does.
Looked like the offense may have moved first. I'll be curious to see what the call is here. They almost moved simultaneously.
So it is against Forestview. They'll back them up 5. Offensive line from Forestview doesn't like that call.
Kings Mountain's running a 4-3. They've got that two-back look on offense. So Kings Mountain is trying to put as many guys in the box as possible.
So second and 10 of Forestview. Hand the ball off right up to the left side. He'll cut inside. That's Bowers again. He'll make it up to the 30-yard line.
That's a good clip. Bowers is a little slow to get up. Looks like he's grabbing his shoulder.
Feimster brings him down for the Mountaineers. Yes, he's slow to get up. Still on the turf. As the trainers for the Jaguars come out and look at his shoulder. So they'll tend to him. We'll step away. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Christy Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting, Carter Bank and Trust. Live life to the fullest. The venue at Turkey Ridge. Butler's Tire and Auto Service. And John Gamble with Carolina Golf.
Back here at Forestview High School, Mountaineers lead at 14-0 here in the second quarter.
A few scores for you really quick. South Point is winning 7-6. East Lincoln's beat North Lincoln 14-0. Lincoln's winning 7-0 over East Gaston. Burns is up 6-0 on Bessemer City. And shout out to my boys at Western Alamance beating Person County 21-0. Long live the Warriors. Long live Jeffrey Snuffer.
You done squeeze in an Alamance score? Come on, man. Come on,
those
man.
are my boys, man.
Come
those
on,
are my
man.
boys. Those are my boys.
I don't even know where Alamance is.
Other side of Greensboro. You got Guilford, and then you got Alamance County. Fond memories in Alamance County.
White Hat and the other officials talking something over right at the 30-yard line. I don't know what they're talking about, what down it is. So they say it's third down. So third and about 4 for Forestview. It may change the play call. Phillips changes the play there at the line of scrimmage. Number 9, Little John in the backfield right now at halfback. Phillips drops back the throw, looks over to his left side, tries to find an open receiver, and does. Is it complete? It is complete.
We're going to give it to him, man.
1st and 10, Forestview.
That was an
at
excellent
the 41.
pass. That was an excellent pass by QB1. Looks like he bit that route off, I think, at the right time. And that was a really good ball by him. It was about a 20-yard pickup, 15-yard pickup.
So 1st and 10 from Forestview, and I believe that is their first down.
I think you are correct.
Phillips once again makes the calls. 2 receivers to this near side, 1 receiver high side. Hands the ball off right up the middle. Mountaineers scoop it out. Nowhere to go. He'll stop him in the backfield. Not sure what guard let the Mountaineer defensive front through, but they let them all through.
Yeah, there was a lot of white jerseys immediately at post snap. That left side of Forestview's offensive line should be the right side of our defensive line. The right side of our defensive line is playing really well. I see big Samaj Odoms over there. He's a tough block.
So 2nd and 10, I don't know how they can say he got back to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to give him the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 10. Little John in the backfield with Phillips.
Kings Mountain showing blitz, 1 single high safety, press man coverage.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left, trying to find a receiver that's open. Nobody open whatsoever. Throws it out of bounds. Brings up 3rd.
Down for the Jaguars.
Quarterback made a good call to throw the ball out of bounds. Fun fact for anybody who doesn't know this, that just became a rule in high school about 2 or 3 years ago, where the quarterback can actually throw the ball out of bounds if he's scrambling for no penalty. A lot of kids in high school have not figured that one out yet because they've been trained not to do it. It'll save a lot of coverage sacks for a lot of teams and a lot of penalties if they would learn to do it. That was a good decision by him. Kings Mountain showed blitz and wound up actually bringing it. Just too much pressure for him.
Forestview comes out in a 3-receiver set to this near side, 1 receiver the high side. That's Rhodes as the receiver on the top side.
Kings Mountain's got 2 safeties. Delay of game, it looks like.
Quick whistles. And they'll say delay of game. So 3rd and 15.
Penalty flag on the play is a delay of game against the Jaguars. 5-yard mark off, still 3rd down.
So they'll change the play a little bit. Phillips goes to the line. Twins to the high side, twins to the near side. 1 running back in the backfield. Phillips fakes the handoff, rolls back, looking for a screen, but nobody there to catch it. Intended target was Achilles Littlejohn, but nobody there at all.
It seemed like a pretty good play design. From where I'm sitting, I'm not their coaching staff, it seemed like the tailback maybe was a little too anxious to get out there and catch the ball and take off because their offense was hoofing it over here to the sideline. Whitehead threw another flag, maybe a few extra comments from the boys in white jerseys.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Kings Mountain is the call.
That'll be a 1st down.
Penalty flag on the play is a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Mountaineers.
They're going to say it's on Christian Jarrett on the Mountaineers. Or at least he's the one that raised his hands like, why are you calling that on me?
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming that's who they called it on.
Yeah, there's no telling what it was for.
1st and 10, Forestview. And it's a big one. This will be the best field position right now that Forestview has had this game. 49-yard line, 1st and 10, Jaguars. Phillips with a 4-receiver set, 2 to this side, to the far side. He changes the protection coverage at the line. He's in shotgun. He gets the ball, hands it right up the middle to number 9. Nowhere to go. Mountaineers are there to stop him at the line of scrimmage. Littlejohn, once again, the halfback. just nowhere to run. Forestview Forestview offensive line just having a rough time containing the Mountaineer defensive front.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like they're really getting much resistance. The front four is not. I'm seeing number 8, number 33 right there. I saw Christian Jarrett in the backfield pretty easily. They just seem to be kind of shooting the gaps almost faster than Forestview can get their hands on them.
And the center for Forestview, Jaden Phillips Jr., 5'9". They don't list his weight, but I guarantee it's every bit of 350. He's a pretty good-sized boy.
Yeah, it's a big old kid.
But they're able to get around him. So 3 receivers set to this side, 1 to the high side. Shotgun, Phillips is in. Gives the ball a real quick pass. Number 8 was his intended target, incomplete. Rhodes. Looks like it actually might have been deflected by a Mountaineer.
Yeah, it almost looked like a Kings Mountain. They basically kept their safeties at the sticks, which in this case is only about 9 yards, so it kind of perceptively almost looked like cover 0, really. They're kind of daring him to throw. They wanted to try to get the ball once again to number 8. They ran him on a little bit of a deep slant, and the ball was just a little bit out of his catch, I guess, circle. What am I trying to say? His catch radius. There we go. Shout out Mel Kiper. His catch radius.
So 3rd and 9, another passing situation for Phillips. He drops back, looks for the home run ball. It's got a receiver that is open, but is incomplete. Mountaineers just all over that coverage. Could have easily come up as a turnover, as it could have been complete for Forestview.
Yeah, that was really good defensive coverage by Kings Mountain. I can't tell whose number that is because he won't turn sideways. Looks like Xavier Hutchins, maybe? Number 3, number 5? Either way, that was about as much contact. Number 9, sorry. That was about as much contact as you're going to get away with.
Penalty flag on the field.
Is it going to be
roughing the passer against the Mountaineers?
Interesting.
So another first down.
Admittedly, I was watching the football. That's a bad penalty. What I was saying is it was pretty good defensive coverage. That's about as much contact you can get away with your hands without a penalty flag. It's a really good job by the corner, but it looks like it's not going to matter.
So the Mountaineers the Jaguars will get into Mountaineer territory at the 35-yard line. Hands the ball off right side. Not a lot of running room. He'll fall forward and maybe pick up 1 or 2. There's a lot of extracurricular activities after the play. So both of these squads are heated, let's say.
Yeah, it's a little chippy down there. I'd be curious to know what words are being said. I doubt we could air that on our YouTube page. But interesting so far, Drew. They've gotten 2 first downs on pretty significant penalties. So you got to wonder if they manage to score on this drive. Seems like it would have been prevented without penalties.
So 2nd and about 5. Phillips quick throw. It's incomplete. Underthrown. Little John, his intended target. Feimster breaks up the play. So third down, we'll call it 3rd and 6 right now. Mountaineers given 2 great first downs to Forestview on this drive. Phillips hands the ball right up the middle again. Not a lot of running room. He might pick up 2 and bring up a 4th down. So Forestview will have an opportunity here. We'll see what they decide to do if they go for it in 4-down territory. Ball is resting just outside the 30-yard line, maybe the 31, and Forestview will keep their offense on the field. 4th and about 5. Maybe a hard count right here, Cooper?
Yeah, probably so. That's what I'd run.
Phillips back to the throw, looking for an open receiver right over the middle, in and out of his hands, and almost picked off by the Mountaineers. Incomplete pass. So turnover on downs. Mountaineers will take over in decent field position for Kings Mountain.
That was a really good ball by QB1. They basically ran, it almost looked like they ran 4 verts because we're running cover 2. That was a pretty good ball.
It was a pretty good call. It was just
I think so too.
Not thrown exactly where it should have been.
An observation I just made on that drive was that they kind of got away from their split back, and so they were running 1 back in the backfield, and they were running their receivers to the field pretty wide. They kind of got some guys from Kings Mountain out of the box, and were able to actually have a little bit of success there because there's not just so many white jerseys that they're having to go toe-to-toe with in the box. So I'll be curious to see what they do next. That was one. I mean, granted, the penalties got them about 30 yards down the field, but several of those plays seem to be working for Forestview. I'll be curious to see what they do on their next offensive drive. But that was almost an interception right there. There was a lot of bobbling of the ball.
Kings Mountain defense, 7 sacks on the total so far, averaging 1.5 sacks a game, 5 interceptions, and has caused 4 fumbles so far for Kings Mountain. Mountaineer with a three receiver set. Bell makes his calls, fakes the handoff, throws it right over the middle, incomplete, in and out of his hands.
Man,
Just
he was wide open.
Couldn't quite hold on to it. He's all the way down at the 45-yard line, so it would have been a big pickup for the Mountaineers if he would have been able to hold on to it. Bring up 2nd and 10.
I think that was number 9, Isaiah Branch. KJ threw a good ball. I think he was so open, KJ wasn't expecting it to be as open as it was. He almost kind of had to come back for the ball a little bit and just hit his hands. Soft hands.
3 receiver set again. Back the throw. Bell looking for a receiver. Got Hutchins. He's free and only about a 4-yard gain.
KJ was looking a little Mahomey right there. He had a little bit of a pass rush, and he decided to get rid of the ball easy. Xavier did a good job of kind of stopping where he needed to. Let's get pick up. 3rd down, about 6 yards. Does Forestview bring the house right here? They just got pressure on him on that previous play. They dropped 8 earlier and got a touchdown scored on them. I'll be curious to see. They're showing blitz.
Do you want them to bring the house and call a screen?
I don't know. We shall see.
Trip receivers to this close side. Back to throw is Bell looking over on the outside. He gets his man. It is completed. That's a 1st down. Hutchins, the ball carrier, 47-yard line. So Mountaineers will get a new set of chains and keep moving the ball down the field.
Man, QB1 for the Mountaineers, KJ Bell, he has a really good outside the hash ball. I mean, I can't really describe to you if you're not watching it, but just the placement of the pass that he just gave to Xavier over the defender on the sideline. That's a tough pass to make for a young kid. He did a really good job at that. He does it every week.
Bell makes his calls. 3 receivers to the high side, gives it right up the middle to Coleman. He crosses the 50, 40, still on his feet. Big gain. They're going to force him out of bounds around the 20-yard line. So a big pickup for Coleman and the Mountaineer rushing team.
Kings Mountain ran counter power right there. They pulled their tackle and their guard all the way across the formation. Block down and a kick and a wrap. And that happened like it needed to.
So 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line for Kings Mountain, trying to get into the red zone. 3 receivers to the high side, 1 receiver to this near side.
Forestview's moved to a 4-2. They're still running man coverage on all the DBs, 1 single high safety.
Hands it right up the middle, but nowhere to run for Coleman. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
Kareem Coleman, the ball carrier, brought down at the 25-yard line. No gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 10 for the Mountaineers.
I do notice, though, a lot of those offensive linemen from Forestview are the defensive linemen from Forestview.
That is correct. Yeah, it's a good observation.
So we're going to have to see how that plays out. Bell back to throw, incomplete. Branch incomplete to Branch. He was in end zone.
I think Isaiah was looking for a hold there. I didn't see it early enough to know if that was a legit throw your hands up moment. But either way, KJ was trying to throw a corner ball right there. He threw a pretty good ball, but Isaiah wasn't there for it. It seems like he may have gotten held at the bottom of the route, but I wasn't watching.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Take a minute for the play to get in.
Forestview still in that 4-2 look. They're running man on all of the receivers. They got 1 single high safety. He's kind of playing in the middle of the field.
Bell back to throw, looking for a wide receiver, looking to the trip side. He's got one wide open, but could not connect to him in the end zone. Incomplete. Third down. Big Tex was the target, and maybe just 2 inches overthrown.
Yep. Sent Tex on a fade right there. His defender got a little bit confused by all the white jerseys blowing by him. Tex was wide open, but a little bit overthrown, a little bit underran. Kind of hard to tell from here.
So a fourth down, and Kings Mountain lines up a field goal on the right hash.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong, Drew. They've not kicked many of these this year.
No, this will be the second attempt.
Good snap, little high, good hold.
And it's long enough, I believe.
Ooh.
Oop, nope, going to miss it by a foot. So incomplete for the, 42-yard field goal, incomplete. So 5:25 to go here in this quarter. Mountaineers up 14-0. Let's take a break. We'll be back after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Innovative Pool Design, Long Branch Land and Water, Brittany Austin and Company, Carolina Elite Plumbing Services, where plumbing's done right, Brad Moffitt with Carolina Chiropractic, and Flooring America.
Get beat up with gnats now. Back here live at Forestview High School. Mountaineers up 14-0 here in the second quarter. 5:25 to go. Clock's running. Forestview takes over first down. They go right up the middle, 4-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 6.
Achilles Littlejohn, the ball carrier. For a gain of 4 on the
So Achilles Littlejohn, the ball carrier right there. He'll stay in at halfback. Ever since Bowers got pulled out of the first quarter, we haven't seen him return. Four receivers set for Forestview. Hands it right up the middle to Littlejohn again. On second try, he gets past the Mountaineers. They stop him in the backfield, but keeps his legs moving and picks up a first down, maybe about a 7-8 yard gain.
Yeah,
so
really
first
good.
Down.
Really good second effort right there by Achilles Littlejohn. From this vantage point, he's kind of a big kid.
So 1st and 10 from Forestview. They're kind of confused where everybody needs to be in this play. 3 receivers set to the high side. Phillips hands the ball right up the middle. He's got a hole to run through. That's number 8. He'll pick up maybe 7 yards on the carry. That's Rhodes. It was odd that they swapped out Littlejohn, threw him over to a slot receiver, brought the slot receiver, which was Rhodes, and brought him back down to halfback.
Yeah, they've been really trying to get him the ball, whether it's on special teams or on offense. They're trying to run some design plays for him. It worked out that time.
2nd and about 3. 3 receivers set again on the high side for Forestview. 1 receiver this side.
Kings Mountain still in a 4-2 look, 1 single high safety man coverage.
Hands the ball off right up the middle. Mountaineers trying to give chase. They won't let him pass. And a flag on the play. I believe that's going to be personal foul on one of them. I don't know who. Personal foul against Kings Mountain again. So that'll be their second call of the night. New set of downs for Forestview off that. So I don't know exactly what's being said that cause the Mountaineers to keep getting unpersonal those penalties called on them.
Well, you know, they always tell you that you're not supposed to be using foul language on the field, that it's always supposed to be an automatic penalty. A lot of receiving crews are very generous, and they let some things fly in the heat of the game. Could be the case in this particular crew, just kind of has a lower threshold.
Phillips back to throw again. Good holding call, but nobody called it. Gets it completed around the 30, 35-yard line.
That's a good screen, but I do see a flag. It looks like it's going to be a hold on the Jaguars. Good execution on the screenplay, though.
I lost track of where the ball was going after I saw the hold. So the ball was complete.
Screen pass went to number 8, Marcus Rhodes. He took it about 15 or 20 yards, but he is actually down on the sideline right now. They're calling the training staff over. He's got his helmet off. Looks like he's in a little bit of pain down here to my left.
So two penalties. Illegal man down the field, and that was declined. And then holding was accepted.
You know, it makes sense that they would call a legal man downfield because Forestview, their screen catching back, that's the second time I've seen them run that, is very far down the field, usually a lot farther than a back would be. Probably beyond the line of scrimmage, I would have to imagine.
So first and about 20 for Forestview.
Rhodes is back up. He's walking back down the sideline, got his helmet. He's actually trying to go back in. That's a good sign. Glad he's doing okay. They're going to take him over and check him out, but glad to see he's up walking.
Ball resting at the Forestview 46-yard line. They're going from right to left. Ball over his head. Phillips just trying to keep on the ball. The ball is still free. Mountaineers have the ball, but I don't know who they're actually going to give it to. They're going to give it to Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain's ball.
Is that Christian Jarrett on the recovery, I believe?
So the defense, second time tonight, they've come up with a big play for the Mountaineers. Ball was just over Phillips's head.
Yep.
And Phillips was scrambling, trying to fall on the ball, but the Mountaineers giving chase and knocked it free again.
Yeah, that's right. And Kings Mountain also ran a blitz off the boundary, so they had a mountain number to the backfield. And the ball probably traveled a little bit further because multiple Kings Mountain defenders were trying to turn it into a huddle highlight and scoop and score.
Plus, Phillips is he's on the bench right now. He took a big hit in that scramble for the ball. So we'll have to see his situation here late.
Kings Mountain's got FIB. They got trips in the boundary.
Quick whistles before the snap. I know the coaching staff for Kings Mountain is about to have a fit. They'll call a timeout. They'll take a timeout, so we stay with us. More to come right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimist, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.
Back here at Forestview real quick, we'll check in with the Caldwell Banker Farm Bureau CNC Scrap Iron and Metal scoreboard, and away you go, Cooper.
Ashbrook's up 13-7. I did finally get a score posted for Shelby. They're up 28-0 over Cherryville. Lincolnton's up 14-0 against East Gaston. Burns still up 6-0 against Bessemer. So far, that's what I got. We've got a couple of no reports, so as soon as we find something out, we'll let you know.
So the Mountaineers take over 1st and 10. Ball resting right at the 20-yard line. Hauser, your halfback in. Back to throw is on the screen. Nobody there to stop him. 10-5, touchdown, Kings Mountain.
Touchdown, Mountaineers.
Just a lack of coverage there for Forestview, and just nowhere around them to make a play for Forestview.
Yes, what they did was they snuck the tailback out between the guard and the tackle, almost like he was running, almost like he was helping with pass protection. He sneaks out. You normally call it a tailback check, but once he got through the line of scrimmage, he had nothing but green grass, so he took it a little further down the field. KJ saw it at the right time. He dumped it out. It was basically a walk-in touchdown for Kings Mountain.
2 minutes and 14 seconds here to go in this first half. Mountaineers attempt to put the extra point on the board.
Good snap, good hold.
And they do,
Good
so
kick.
the Mountaineers will lead it 21-0. Stay with us, more Mountaineer football to come right after this. Don't go anywhere.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Christy Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting, Carter Bank and Trust, live life to the fullest, The venue at Turkey Ridge. Butler's Tire and Auto Service. And John Gamble with Carolina Golf.
Back here live in South Gastonia, Mountaineers lead 21-0. Coach Aaron trying to get to his 23rd win as the Mountaineer head ball coach here for the Mountaineers.
Here in the lovely Joe Alala Stadium.
You said it, I didn't.
For the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Quick update on our scoreboard for Coldwell Banker Farm Bureau C&C Scrap Iron and Metal scoreboard as we await the kickoff for the Mountaineers.
Still no report for the North Gaston game. Shelby's now up 35-7. Or 35-0, excuse me. East Lincoln's up 35-0 over North Lincoln. No report on the RS Central game. Vance Johnson kicks it again to about the 2.
Trying to return it up to the 10-yard line. The Mountaineers will bring him down. Ball, great kick by Vance, and all the way down to the 1, but able to return it. They take it up to around the 10-yard line, so it's 90 yards to go for Forestview if they want to put points on the board before the halftime.
It's number 2, Aiden Dorsey, that picked that up and tried to run it. You know, high school kids, man, it's hard to really explain the field awareness you have to have on kickoff return because in high school the kicks do not always go to the same spot. It's hard to teach your returners whether to leave the ball. He probably should have let that bounce to the end zone, but he picked it up, and I don't blame him for running it, man. He did a pretty good job. They're back to the 10-yard line.
Phillips with one halfback in the backfield.
Kings Mountain still in a 4-2 single high safety. Oh, it looks like they got 2 high safeties, excuse me.
Hands it right up to the left side. Mountaineers giving chase. He's going to get a few yards on the play. Second down. And a little bit more extracurricular activities. I don't know if a flag was thrown, but I know there were some whistles.
It's like Silas Tate is down for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, there is a Mountaineer down on this close side. That's Tate. Kind of holding his knee. So they'll tend to him. Let's step away. More Mountaineer football to come. They're up 21-0. Stay with us.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Innovative Pool Design, Long Branch Land and Water, Brittany Austin and Company, Carolina Elite Plumbing Services, where plumbing's done right, Brad Moffitt with Carolina Chiropractic, and Flooring America.
Back here at Forestview High School, the Jaguars, the Mountaineers, they'll help Silas Tate. He's walking out on his own power. Hopefully nothing serious. I don't think it was a cramp, but we'll try to keep track and see how Mr. Tate is doing, a very vital member of this Mountaineer defense.
Yeah, it's hard to say I wasn't looking, but I am glad he's walking on his own power, so we'll see what happens.
4 receiver set again. Phillips shotgun formation. And
Kings
pistol.
Mountain. Kings Mountain staying in that defensive set.
Hands it right up the middle.
They run
Number
same
9. Achilles Little John, the ball carrier. Just nowhere to run. He'll lose a yard, bring up 3rd and 5.
Timeout on the field is taken by the Mountaineers. That's their
So
final
Kings Mountain will take a timeout to save the clock. And they'll take a timeout, and so will we. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimist, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.
Back here live at, go ahead and say it. I cannot say it. Joe
Alala Stadium.
I always make your father say that when we're
Joe
here.
Alala Stadium.
Here at Forestview High School. I really like the campus of Forestview High School. Nice high school.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of the housing you have to ride through to get out here. It's a nice area. Yeah,
There's an airport right down the street. I'll have to
is.
talk to David. Maybe we can get a plane so we can fly to these.
Private flight, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you can drive all the way to Bowling Springs and then fly here. That's a great idea.
Phillips calls his signals, 3 receivers to the high side, 1 to the close side. He hands it right up the middle, but the Mountaineers are there to stop him before he goes anywhere past the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 4th down, 4th and 5.
They tried to run, I think, a little bit of inside zone right there. Instead of running inside his tackle, he ran outside his tackle, and that's a defensive end's dream. A little bit of visible frustration with a few linemen from the Forestview Jaguars.
So Kings Mountain without timeouts left. Clock running down a minute and some change.
Forestview has a different punter in, for what it's worth. I wonder if Rhodes was their punter. I wasn't paying attention to jersey numbers, but he is still on the sideline with the trainer.
Rex Champion in to punt for Forestview. And they're probably going to wait till the time runs all the way down before they take a timeout. So Forestview will take a timeout so they can run as much time out of the clock as they can. They've got 1 remaining. Kings Mountain has none. We'll take a break. Stay with us. Mountaineer football after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Christy Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting, Carter Bank and Trust, live life to the fullest, The Venue at Turkey Ridge, Butler's Tire and Auto Service, and John Gamble with Carolina Golf.
Back here live at Forestview High School. Just right under a minute left as Forestview gets ready to punt the ball away. Rex Champion, junior, 6'2", 240 pounds. Now he'll come out, and they'll go back to the normal punter.
Marcus Rhodes, he's back in the game. That's good. Glad to see he's out there.
So Rhodes gets ready to kick it off.
Good snap. Low kick.
Very, very low kick. Will take a Forestview roll. Mountaineers will pick it up. Hutchins over to the far side, 40, 35. Still on his feet, 30, 25, and they'll run him out of bounds.
Going to be a penalty, I think, on Kings Mountain. We were blocking way away from the play. That's been a point of emphasis for them for a couple of years. Particularly on special teams, you're really not supposed to be making contact away from the play, and they've just kind of drawn a pretty hard line in the sand so as not to have to get into the debate over was it excessive or not. I think that's what it's going to be. We're about to find out.
So it's going to negate a really good run back, and it is a spot foul.
That's 2 of those.
So Kings Mountain will have to start 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line of Forestview. 1st and 10. 37.6 seconds. Now, Kings Mountain did win the toss and elected to take the ball in the second half, so they will get the ball when they come back out, but I know Coach Herron would love to take a shot or 2 right here.
Yeah, big time. That's a penalty you hate to see. That's one of those rules. Once again, it's a hard thing to kind of coach the feel of that for a high school kid. I mean, you're wearing a helmet. You can't see everything in your peripheral. I don't know how the contact necessarily played out, but he doesn't necessarily know he's away from the play as far as he thinks. It's a hate to see a penalty like that. It's 2 really good punt returns tonight. One of those earlier being a touchdown that got called back for a penalty. Those are things you're trying to clean up. It is week 5 after all.
Kings Mountain 1st and 10, 49-yard line. Bell back to throw, looks for a wide open receiver and catches it. It is completed about a 30, we'll call it 25, 30-yard reception. Ball all the way down, just right outside the 20-yard line.
Really good ball by KJ to put that on his outside shoulder. Isaiah Branch with the he hit right button on that possession catch for all my Madden lovers. got out of bounds. That was a good play, man.
31.6 seconds to go. 1st and 10.
3 receivers to the field. They got Tex in the boundary.
Bell back to throw once again, looking to the right side this time, looking for the fade. Just could not find the ball. Incomplete.
I don't think Isaiah knew that he'd gotten rid of it yet. If he'd been able to feel that or look up, that would have been a touchdown.
So incomplete pass will stop the clock. 27 is some change. Stay with us, Mountaineer halftime. The UnQ Financial KM Elite Audio Video Designs halftime show. We'll get to see who gets crowned the homecoming queen here at Forestview. So I know you've been
we know what coincidentally
wondering about that.
I didn't know this until I walked in the gate, but a granddaughter of some really good friends of ours is actually going to be on the court, I think, because they were carrying some flowers. So I actually do have a vested interest, and I didn't know that until I got here.
So Forestview will call their final timeout, I guess, to talk about their secondary coverage. 27.2 seconds left here in this first half.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what the discussion is like down there with defensive coverage, because they've pretty much stuck in man the whole time, and Kings Mountain seems to be running by them pretty easily. I wonder if they even have a zone coverage call. I haven't really, at least as far as I can tell, I haven't really seen them break into zone much. I mean, they've run a safety, they've dropped into 2 occasionally, but for the most part, they're pretty much manning up, especially on the X and the Y. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going on here. They're running too high on the 5-yard line right now. Kings Mountain's got 3 to the field, 1 to the boundary.
Bell back to throw. Looking for the corner of the end zone. That's Tex. Did he catch it?
He did.
Yes, he did. Touchdown, Mountaineers. So Mountaineers did exactly what they were trying to do before the half and put another score on the board. And of course, they'll come out in the second half and receive the ball.
So right there, as I just said before the play, they actually dropped in a little bit of zone coverage right there, and Texas found a little bit of a hole. KJ put the ball on the outside where it needed to be. KJ's throwing the ball really well tonight. Good snap, good hold.
So the ball is up. It is good. The Mountaineers will add 1 more point to it. Let's take a break. We'll be back right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Innovative Pool Design, Long Branch Land and Water, Brittany Austin and Company, Carolina Elite Plumbing Services, where plumbing's done right, Brad Moffitt with Carolina Chiropractic, and Flooring America.
Back here at Forestview High School, Mountaineers able to put another score on the board. 28-0. 20 seconds left on the clock as Vance Johnson gets ready to kick it away for Forestview. Or to Forestview, I should say. I believe it is America Night for the Mountaineer student body. I see a lot of powdered wigs.
Yeah, it looks to be blackout night for the Jaguars because, well, looks like everybody's wearing black tonight. That is their primary color. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
It won't be the last time I say it.
Well, I'm joking, but I'll start saying it too.
Vance Johnson kicks a returnable at the 10,
Marcus
up to
Rhodes.
the 15, 20-yard line. Still on his feet. Got a block or two across the 30. But he'll get brought down before any more, and another flag comes out over on the Mountaineer sidelines.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I was sort of looking for that. I don't want to call into question the referee crew. Shout out Terry Prince. Love you so much, big dog. But I didn't see anything happening right there. I mean, unless it's really just for the chatter, but it seemed like Kings Mountain was hyping their guys up. Seems like somebody helped up Marcus Rhodes on the return after he got tackled. I don't know what that is, man. Oh,
so they're waving it off.
How about that?
No penalty flag.
I manifested
There
that.
is no penalty on the play.
Shout out Terry Prince.
Will be spotted at the
We love our stripe boys
37-yard
out there.
line. First and 10
They help keep the game
Forestview.
safe.
So 1st and 10 for Forestview. They'll have just a few seconds to work with the ball. No timeouts left for either side. Would you expect them to take a shot or just run the clock out?
I would probably try to run the clock out, but it looks like they want something. Take
Hands the
back.
ball off right up the middle. He's got some running room still on his feet up to around the 50-yard line. So a big play, first down play.
So they're going to get one more play in. It's a shame after a really good run right there. They got about 15 yards on that clip. It's a shame they don't have any more timeouts, right, because I think they've used them all.
And ladies and gentlemen, that will bring us to the end of our first half.
So they let the time run out, and that'll take us to halftime. That's it. Mountaineers up 28-0 going into halftime. Let's stay with us. We've got more Mountaineer football to come. We'll be back after this.
Just a moment.
The KMHS Halftime Show is brought to you by Ben Engel and OnQ Financial, the KM Elite Trailblazers, and Audio Video Designs.
Back here halftime at Forestview High School. The Forestview band is getting ready for their homecoming night here in Gastonia. Kind of early for a homecoming, but we were talking about that a minute ago. But Kings Mountain will actually have theirs in 2 weeks as we host North Gaston. But enjoy some of the sights and sounds of their halftime show. We've got more Mountaineer football to come, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2025 Forestview Homecoming Game. I am Shlok Soni, your Jungle Club President and Student Section Leader, and I will be your homecoming announcer this evening. We are proud to announce the wonderful young ladies who make up this year's homecoming court. The court was nominated by the senior class. Please be respectful as we introduce each nominee of our 2025 Forestview Homecoming Court. Now let us meet our 2025 Forestview Homecoming Court. Homecoming Court nominee number 1 is Layla Arias. Layla is the daughter of Maddie Leon and Juan Arias. Tonight she is being escorted by her mother, Maddie. Layla is a member of the Beta Club and National Honor Society. She is a member of the soccer and women's tennis teams. After high school, Layla plans to go to Costa Rica and live with her family while studying for school. Homecoming Court nominee number 1, Layla Arias. Homecoming Court nominee number 2 is Caitlin Baker. Caitlin is the daughter of Amanda Baker and Kevin Baker. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Kevin. Caitlin is a member of the Beta Club, National Honor Society, and a student in our Collegiate Preparatory Academy. Caitlin is a JAG-PAL and was a junior marshal. She has been a member of our dance team, women's basketball team, and softball team for 4 years. Caitlin serves as Teen Action Council President and Teen Ambassador for the Youth Overdose Prevention Committee. After high school, Caitlin plans to attend a 4-year university, double majoring in political science and accounting with a minor in criminology to help her be prepared for law school. Homecoming Court nominee number 2, Caitlin Baker. Homecoming court nominee number 3 is Georgia Biddy. Georgia is the daughter of Kelly Mackenzie Biddy and Nikki Biddy. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Nikki. Georgia is our senior class treasurer, vice president of the Jungle Club, and a member of our Collegiate Preparatory Academy. She is part of our Beta Club, National Honor Society, Red Cross Club, and camp leader at Kids Count at First ARP Church. After high school, Georgia plans to attend a 4-year university to major in nursing to prepare her for PA school to become a pediatric physician's assistant. Homecoming court nominee number 3, Georgia Biddy. Homecoming court nominee number 4 is Riley Brown. Riley is the daughter of Aaron and Jason Brown. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Jason. Riley is a member of the women's tennis team, swim team, and women's soccer team. She is part of Beta Club and National Honor Society. Riley is a lifeguard and plays club soccer. After high school, Riley plans to attend a 4-year university to study veterinary medicine. Homecoming court nominee number 4, Riley Brown. Homecoming court nominee number 5 is Aryan Cattending. Aryan is the daughter of Irene and Aries Cattending. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Aries. Aryan is a member of our women's soccer and cross-country teams. She's been on her club soccer team for around 6 to 7 years. She is a member of Beta Club, National Honor Society, and JAGPI. Aryan plans to attend a 4-year university to major in nursing to become a nurse practitioner or physician assistant. Homecoming court nominee number 5, Aryan Cattending. Homecoming court nominee number 6 is Hannah Chirinos. Hannah is the daughter of Regia Matu and Carlos Castro. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Carlos. Hannah is a member of our women's soccer team and Red Cross Club. After high school, Hannah plans to attend Gaston College and transfer to a 4-year university to study nursing and become a pediatric nurse. Homecoming court nominee number 6, Hannah Chirinos. Homecoming court nominee number 7 is Ansley Dixon. Ansley is the daughter of Lauren and Mark Dixon. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Mark. Ansley works 2 jobs, one at a restaurant and another at a salon. She coaches youth volleyball and thrifts in her free time. After high school, Ansley plans to attend cosmetology school to become a licensed cosmetologist. Homecoming court nominee number 7, Ansley Dixon. Homecoming court nominee number 8 is Aaliyah Moore. Aaliyah is the daughter of Jamie Moore and the late Miles Terrell Moore. Tonight she is being escorted by her uncle, Sean. Aaliyah is a member of the cheer team, track team, and helps with the youth ministry at St. Peter Baptist Church. Aaliyah has a 2024-2025 debutante. After high school, Aaliyah plans to attend North Carolina A&T to become a clinical psychologist. Homecoming court nominee number 8, Aaliyah Moore. Homecoming court nominee number 9 is Ella Queen. Ella is the daughter of Sally Queen and Kevin Queen. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Kevin. Ella is our senior class president and a member of the Collegiate Preparatory Academy. She is also a member of the women's soccer team, concert choir and theater, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and serves as a leader, Beta Club, National Honor Society, and Young Life. Ella also sings and plays guitar for the church praise band. After high school, Ella plans to attend a 4-year university to major in music performance and minor in religious studies to pursue a career in music ministry. Homecoming court nominee number 9, Ella Queen. Homecoming court nominee number 10 is Trista Roddy. Trista is the daughter of Angela Roddy and Toriano Roddy. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Toriano. Trista is a member of the cheer team and track and field team. She is in our chorus and volunteers with youth ministry. After high school, Trista plans to attend a 4-year university to major in health sciences to apply for a diagnostic medical sonography program to become an ultrasound technician. Homecoming court nominee number 10, Trista Roddy. Homecoming court nominee number 11 is Maddie Queen. Maddie is the daughter of Sally Queen and Kevin Queen. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Kevin. Maddie is the student body vice president. She is a captain of the volleyball team, a member of the women's soccer team, and participates in her youth group. Maddie is a member of the Gaston County Student Advisory Council, Beta Club, National Honor Society, and Jungle Club. After high school, Maddie plans to attend a four-year university to major in political science in the pre-law track to eventually becoming a criminal justice attorney. Homecoming court nominee number 11, Maddie Queen. Homecoming court nominee number 12 is Addison Townsend. Addison is the daughter of Mindy and Jason Townsend. Tonight she is being escorted by her father, Jason. Addison is a member of the soccer team, swim team, and captain of the tennis team. She is a member of the Cancer Kids First Club and Jungle Club. In her free time, Addison volunteers and babysits for church, is a lifeguard, and thrifts. After high school, Addison plans to attend college to become an ultrasound technician. Homecoming court nominee number 12, Addison Townsend. To help us crown our new 2025 Homecoming Queen, we welcome back last year's Forestview Homecoming Queen, Lydia Brown. And now, the moment has come to announce our new queen. Drum roll, please. The 2025 Forestview Homecoming Queen is Aaliyah Moore. Congratulations to Aaliyah Moore and her family, and thank you to all of these young ladies on the 2025 Forestview Homecoming Court for representing Forestview so well. Forestview High School would like to give a huge thank you to Ms. Highland for videoing and editing our homecoming video. Also, thank you to Mrs. Thompson for all of her hard work on organizing and facilitating Homecoming Week for these ladies. Thank you for attending our 2025 Forestview Homecoming.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more big round of applause to the Forestview 2025 Homecoming Queen, Miss Aaliyah Moore. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to our entire 2025 Homecoming Court.
The KMHS Halftime Show is brought to you by Ben Engel and On Q Financial, the KM Elite Trailblazers, and Audio Video Designs.
Back here at Forestview High School, halftime. Mountaineers lead it right now, 28-0. About 5 minutes left to halftime. And while we have the opportunity, I gotta go over here to get it. Let me get it. Where is that? It's right there. I'll put up my little scoreboard graphic. We'll just check in real quick on the Caldwell Banker Farm Bureau CNC Scrap Iron and Metal scoreboard. I know Cooper's got some scores he's pulling up. I see one here. We didn't talk about this at the beginning of the game. Charlotte Catholic was hosting Weddington tonight. Of course, that game started at 7 o'clock, and both teams running the crap out of the ball and running the clock as well. It's a final at Charlotte Catholic, 42-7, Weddington over Catholic.
Weddington's really good, man. They got several dudes on their team that are going to be playing on Saturdays, potentially even Sundays. So I'm not totally shocked by that, but that's a fast football game. They got to the house, got some Waffle House early. Ashbrook is over South Point right now in the third quarter, 13-7. Let me scroll a little further. Lincolnton is still 14-0 over East Gaston. Shelby is up 42-0 on Cherryville. It says quarter one. That feels unlikely, but they're up 42-0 nonetheless. Burns is up over Bessemer City 29-0. Which one am I missing, Drew? Oh, RS Central's beating Drawn 35-0 at halftime. For those of you that care, East Lincoln's up 35-0 over North Lincoln. Hickory's putting Fred T. Ford in a body bag. I'm scrolling through here to see if anything else is relevant. Oh, Huss and North Gaston finally gave us a score. Huss is up over North Gaston 17-7 in the third quarter. Everything else seems to be a little bit out of our
Alamance Alamance score.
My boys from Western Alamance, shout out Jeffrey Snuffer. They're putting Person County, stuffing them in a locker. It's 35-8. Long live the Warriors.
What county?
Alamance County.
No, who are they playing?
Oh, Person County.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Person's one of those county high schools. The Rockets, actually. The Rockets. Well, what goes up must come down. We are gravity. Shout out to the Western Alamance Warriors. Love my boys up there.
So let's talk about this game. We saw the first half. Mountaineers able to move the ball, but caught in several penalties.
Several penalties.
Your first take of the first half.
Yeah, it seems from our perspective, we were talking about this off mic, they seem to be kind of quick whistle on the personal fouls, which, hey, I understand it, and every referee crew kind of has their limit. Seems like they're trying to keep a lot of the chatter in check. I mean, without that, I don't even know necessarily that Forestview would have had much offensive success. It's hard to talk about the first half without talking about a very familiar name, William Tex Vaughn. He had about a 50-yard touchdown catch. He had about a 25-yard interception, pick six. He had another probably 30-yard touchdown catch. He is basically most of the offensive touchdown performance. We had another 30-yard touchdown basically from Hauser on we were down here driving in towards the opposite end of the scoreboard. We also have a pretty big significant fumble recovery from Christian Jarrett, number 11. So yes, box scoring, the penalties do not look great. Some of them feel maybe a little overzealous, but nonetheless, Kings Mountain's offense seems to be doing what they need to do when they need to do it, and their defense is absolutely stoning Forestview's offense. Forestview's had a little bit of success as they kind of go a little bit multiple in their formations, but for the most part, Forestview's not really moving the ball on the Mountaineers.
Well, and we'll have to see if the main running back for Forestview comes back in, Bowers, number 3. He started the game and then left under situation and didn't look like it was a very bad situation, but we haven't seen him come back. Now, you know, and Forestview has had chances to move the ball when they get outside the tackles.
Yeah.
Not much in between the tackles.
Yeah, that is correct. It looks like they have really been trying to get the ball to number 8 Marcus Rhodes, and the few times they have, between he and Achilles Littlejohn, both those guys are hard runners, and they've got good field vision. So if they can get the right combination of football in the hands and formation kind of matching with the defense trying to pull off. Kings Mountain, it slants a lot, and they're packing the box, kind of daring Forestview to throw the ball, and Forestview just not really trying to throw the ball. So, yes, if they can kind of get the edge first or miss a tackle, they had several big runs toward the end of the second quarter. So I'd be curious to see what adjustments are made, because Forestview has had some offensive success, and, surely they've got something else they can pull out of the hat here in the second half.
So let's take a break. When we get back, we're getting closer to the second half. Stay with us. Mountaineer football presentation of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club. Back right after this.
The KMHS Halftime Show is brought to you by Ben Engel and On Q Financial, the KM Elite Trailblazers, and Audio Video Designs.
Back here live in South Gastonia, Mountaineers and the Jaguars making a opening night here for the Big South Conference. Of course, Forestview is looking for really their not just the first conference win of this season, but last year only one win on the whole 2024 season coming to North Gaston. And it was our only conference win, so they was hitting the bottom of the barrel of the Big South last year, and I know they're desperately trying to crawl their way up. This is their second season for head coach Chris Rayfield, a 2023 graduate from Forestview. So we wish him luck. I mean, I know it's hard to turn everything around and create a winning program. You know, I remember that when Kings Mountain plays Forestview, no matter, 10, 15 years ago, no matter what the records were, I did not want to play Forestview.
Yeah.
Because it always seemed like we did not match up very well. We lost a lot of games to Forestview that I thought we should have won, and that it just hasn't been that way the last few years. The last 10 years playing the Jaguars, we are 9-1 the last 10 years, but 15-8 overall.
Yeah, I distinctly remember a couple of times I had to play the Jaguars, and there's something about playing at Joe Alala Stadium. There's some kind of weird mojo at this place where it seems like you kind of get dragged into the mud here. I got attacked by fire ants behind the scoreboard when I was a sophomore, so really not a lot of – I mean, I'm not a vibes person, but not a lot of good vibes often here when Kings Mountain has to play at Joe Alala Stadium. The only comment I was going to make about Forestview and their station in the conference, Forestview is one of those teams that they are going to routinely have to play a South Point and Ashbrook, a Kings Mountain on their schedule. And on any given year, man, let's take last year as an example. Those are 3 second, third, fourth round playoff teams that are just on your conference schedule. And when you have to play teams like that consistently, when it comes to the mid-range of the North Carolina classification, you're not only playing teams, but you're playing their cultures. And sometimes it's hard to beat a culture, man. It can be very difficult. And so, yeah, Forestview has got kind of a steep hill to climb. I wish the best of luck to this coach. I mean, it's only second season, and so he still probably has not gotten all the way to building his culture, his rules, his preferences. They've got a lot of seniors on this team. I just kind of did a little bit of quick math. About half their team is a senior. There's a lot of good in that. We know from personal experience there also can be some challenges that come with taking on kids that have been a group before you. So, really wish the best of luck to coach, and most importantly that his team would stay healthy. They've had a couple of dings tonight. Seems like a lot of guys are back. I'm eyeballing trying to find Bowers. If anybody would turn sideways, I can see their jersey number. But a couple of guys have gotten dinged and thankfully come back in, but hope they can stay healthy.
Well, one thing that I will say about Forestview, when before Straight Heron come to the program and Greg Lloyd was here and they had Coach Medlin, both their offenses, were just mirrors of each other.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's my dad has been coaching my dad coached high school football in North Carolina for a long time, and so very fond of Coach Med and all the years that we have gotten to coach against and play against him and a lot of his teams. And, yeah, you're talking about guys that are tried and true, stone-cold North Carolina high school football coaches. That was part of it. And so, yeah, Forestview is one of those places, man, relatively new high school. And so I think culturally they're still trying to kind of find their way. But they've bitten us a few times. I was a part of a couple of those teams, so I remember.
All right, getting ready for the second half. We'll take our last break. Stay with us. Mountaineer football second half coming up next.
The KMHS Halftime Show is brought to you by Ben Engel and On Q Financial, the KM Elite Trailblazers, and Audio Video Designs.
Getting ready for the second half of action here at Forestview High School. Mountaineers lead it 28-0. And Forestview kicks off in the second half. Mountaineers will return it around the 11-yard line up to the 15. He's going to go all the way across the field trying to find some running room, but does not. So the Mountaineers will not start in great territory.
Isaiah Branch on the reception. He tried to run a little bit sideways as opposed to downhill. Good stop on the coverage for Forestview.
East and west instead of north and south.
Yeah. Horizontal instead of vertical. To the side instead of to the front.
So Kings Mountain will open up 1st and 10. Talking about fire ants, the gnats are pestering me tonight here.
Yeah, they're attracted us for some reason. I mean, check this out. Forster's coming out on a 4-2, single high safety, running man coverage.
3 receiver set for Kings Mountain, ball a little bit low. Hands it off to the right side. Not a lot of running room. He'll pick up a couple.
You know, in college football 26, they call that play the zone pitch. It's most of the air raid playbooks. Write that down.
So second, and we'll call it 2nd and 8. Coleman in at running back right now for the Mountaineers. Same formation for Kings Mountain. Bell looking to the sidelines. Changes Coleman's position. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right side, finds somebody outside, completed to the 20 to the 25-yard line before he's run out of bounds. So good enough for a first down play. Pick up maybe 6 yards on the play.
It's a good throw by KJ Bell. Looked like a QB, it was QB boot to his left side. Looked like they ran flood back this way. He took his second level read. Tex was covered up. Once again, man, I'm routinely amazed at KJ's ability already to layer the ball. You know, they talk about layering with quarterbacks. KJ is already getting better at that, man, and he's just a sophomore, right?
Just a sophomore.
Crazy. False start.
False start against Kings Mountain. So it'll back them up on this first down play, 1st and 15. A lot of sophomores on this team for the Mountaineers, which, and I know you like to fix the penalties, but you know you've got a young ball team. Hands the ball off to the right side, student body right, still got some running room, picks up a first down and then some. They're running him out of bounds around the 37-yard line.
Good job by number 54, Colt Dixon, man. They had him on the pull. Shout out to the offensive line. They had him on the pull, and he was leading that run all the way to the sideline, man. You'd love to see effort out of the big boys.
So good run for Coleman. Student, my favorite play, student body right. I know there's more of a technical term for that play.
Yeah, you call it pin and pull. If guy's inside of you, you pin him, and if not, you pull.
Hand the ball off to this side this time. That's Coleman.
To the left side.
But he's going to get bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. Jaguars will not give him much running room. Number 9 on the stop, Littlejohn, Achilles Littlejohn. We've called his name a lot for Forestview.
We have, and he's limping a little bit, man. He's been hobbling since about the beginning of the second quarter. Don't know if he's got a Charlie horse or something, but yeah, he's getting some touches on offense, getting some tackles on defense. Good player.
So 2nd and 11. Bell back to throw, looking for a receiver right over the middle. Throws the long ball, incomplete. No one around. Closest receiver around was in a black uniform. So bring up 3rd and long. Looking for that slant just right over the middle, but Mountaineers not able to get there.
Yeah, it looked like his intended receiver. I caught the back end of it, but it looked like his intended receiver was a little joined at the hip with a DB. May have been some contact there, but I didn't see it.
3 receivers set to the far side. Bell rolls to the right side, looking for receivers. Got one open and is completed all the way down to the 25. This side of the 20-yard line, so a big first down play, 22-yard line. Hutchins, the receiver. Hutchins, a big night last week, 7 catches and 97 yards, and I think he's eclipsed that tonight. Great job for that young man right there.
Man, KJ just dropped about a 40-yard ball on
in
the
a bucket.
run in the breadbasket, man. That was a beautiful pass.
Bell right quick, a little tunnel screen, but nowhere to go for Hutchins. Pass was complete. Through to the short side of the field, just nowhere to go. Second and 10. Mountaineers on this opening possession of the second half. Trying to put more points on the board, just right outside the 20-yard line of Forestview. Bell back to throw again, quick out to Tex. He's going to cut inside, get it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Pass is complete to number 15, William Klein.
Little John is down for the Jaguars. Seems to be hurting a little bit.
That's Achilles Littlejohn, and not someone that they can do without on that defense.
No, definitely not.
So they'll take a break, so will we. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimist, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.
Back here live at Joe. Say it again. Say it again.
Joe Alala Stadium.
I can't say it. Can't say it. It's not going to happen. I don't care what you do. It's not going to happen. They're still tending to the injured Jaguar on the field. Take time to thank you so much for tuning in to us no matter where you are. I could actually probably look right now and figure out where everybody's watching from, but I won't do that because as soon as I do, things will go crazy and haywire like they always do, so I'm not going to touch it. Not going to touch it. Mama said leave it alone or it won't get any better. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Mountaineers, able to move the ball. Looks like they've been able to run the ball fairly well.
Yep.
But looks like they've found a better success putting the ball in the air.
Yeah, I think they got away from the they got away from the run closer to the middle end of the second quarter because they have been kind of outnumbered in the box. They've been kind of consistent. I almost said Jacksonville Jaguars. Can you believe that? Forestview was running a 3-3 stack. They moved kind of a 4-2, but they've got 6 men, and we're really running about 5 or 6 total blockers. So mathematically, the run game has been kind of a coin flip. They've been throwing the ball really well, and I cannot describe to you, those of you that are listening to us, how accurate KJ Bell is throwing the ball. I mean, he basically has not – he's had essentially one miscue. Everything else, not only have the passes been complete, but the passes have been great decisions, and they have been exactly where they need to be. It's been pretty impressive to watch, man.
So the Forestview helps Achilles Littlejohn off the field. It's his left foot or his ankle, I don't, the way he could not put pressure on it, I don't expect him to return this ball game.
Yeah, bless his heart, man. Prayers for him. Hate to see that, man. It's only halfway through the season. I hope it really is just maybe a sprain or something, but he's hurting pretty bad, so hope he comes back.
Mountaineers with a 4-receiver set. Bell hands it right up the middle. Got some running room all the way up past the 5 to around maybe the 2-yard line.
That's Hauser. He tried to reach for it. He got close.
Down at the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal for the Mountaineers.
Hauser and Coleman have turned in kind of our version of smash and dash.
Yeah, thunder and lightning.
Till Dry gets back. But they've been able to kind of hold teams off and finding ways to run until he returns.
Well, something that I've seen consistently from the Mountaineers this season is that the guys who get their hands on the ball, whether it's kick returners or running backs in particular, they run north to south, and that makes such a difference in high school. Heavy set by the Mountaineers. Tush push.
All the way in, Mountaineers will score. Touchdown, Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain will put 6 more on the board. 34-0 right now, and get ready for the extra point here on Forestview's homecoming 2025.
So that right there is proof. Shout out Jalen Hurd. Shout out Saquon Barkley. That right there is proof that you can run the tush push if you really want to. You don't have to change the rules. I know it's not quite a tush push in high school, but it's the same concept. Good snap.
Kings Mountain attempting the extra point. Extra point's up and good. So Kings Mountain will lead it 35-0. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by
Let's see.
Christie Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting,
This is the most
Hardin Bank and
points
Trust,
somebody's put on them this year.
the venue at Turkey Ridge, Butler's Tire and Auto Service, and John Gamble with Carolina
Highland Tech's
Golf.
losing 56-0. That's one of the scores I haven't brought up
Who are they
yet.
playing again? Lincoln?
Stuart Kramer.
Stuart Kramer. Back here, Forestview High School. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mountaineer Football, our audio-only broadcast. And my mind does not keep up with the action like it used to back when I used to do this in radio. So sometimes I'm a little bit slower to the call, but we're so glad we get to do what we can do when we can do it. And thank you to the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club for giving us the opportunity to do it. Forestview right now down 35-0. You know, their 2 losses this year. They lost to Stuart Kramer 34-12. They lost here to Smoky Mountain 22-19. So nobody's put these kind of points on the Jaguars this season.
Speaking of Stuart Kramer, they are up on the Highland Tech football team 56-0 in the third quarter.
Do you know their mascot?
Highland Tech?
Yes.
I think they're the Rams, right?
The Rams. You're
How about
correct. Kick off to Forestview.
Kind of odd. Marcus Rhodes caught that ball and kind of caught it on a knee. I don't know if he intentionally meant to do that. It seems like his body language indicates he did not mean to do that. So Forestview's going to have the ball on about the 12?
12-yard line.
Yep.
1st and 10 for Forestview. 35-0. We'll have to see in this series if Forestview still has any fight left in them.
Kings Mountain to switch up the personnel a little bit on defense. Got a couple of different guys in the defensive backfield. Looks like they run a 3-man front, 3-3 stat, or about a 3-2. They've got an outside linebacker, Apex, and the number 2 receiver to the boundary.
Phillips hands it right up the middle. He's got some running room. Gets away from one. Misses. Gets caught by the second. He'll get maybe a 9-yard gain. 1st, 2nd, and 1. One of the better runs by Forestview tonight.
Yeah, it was a perfect storm for them. We kind of blitzed offensive formation right. They ran offensive formation left. They were able to get some some scrappy yardage right there. Marcus Rhodes, they're trying to get him the ball, it seems, and they gave it to him that time. Good run, good hard run by him.
Right up the middle to try to get the first down. Waiting for the spot. They were faster than I could know what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I thought it was almost a fumble. I don't think they got it. I think they
didn't
lost
get
yardage.
So they'll get back to the line of scrimmage, be third down.
Third down at about 1.5.
Trying to sneak something by the Mountaineers. Third and short. Phillips in shotgun this time.
Kings Mountain showing blitz. Basically in zero coverage right now.
Phillips hands it off, but the Mountaineers stop him in the backfield. Nowhere to go. Number 33 for Kings Mountain, Samaja Odoms, just will not let you gain any yards right there. Fourth, and they're going to lose about 2, so 4th and 4.
Sort of an odd play call offensively. I don't know if they were banking on the Mountaineers dropping into coverage. They have done that a couple times tonight, shown the blitz, dropped into coverage, but they were sorely outnumbered inside the box there and handed it anyway. It's kind of an interesting call.
So Forestview will punt it away.
Kings Mountain's got 2 returners.
Right around the 47-yard line of Kings Mountain. Marcus Rhodes back to punt for the Jaguars. But Mountaineers coming with pressure. Ball gets off, rolls dead around the 50-yard line. So Kings Mountain, no return. They'll take over 1st and 10 right there and go from right to left. Looks like
number 11's
another 11. Looks like a cramp on the field for Forestview.
Alex Birch. Yeah, I can tell by the way he's got his toes pointed. Looks like he's cramping up a little bit.
So they'll tend to him. We'll take a break. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football. The Mountaineers lead at 35-0. Third quarter, we'll be back after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimist, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.
Back here at Forestview High School, Mountaineers lead it 35-0. Getting another opportunity at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10, man in motion. Bale calls the signals. He drops back to pass, looking for the long ball all the way down. Not close to him, about 5 yards over Hutchins' head, incomplete. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Kings Mountain was at 20 personnel right there. Forestview kind of rolled. I can't tell if there's a safety, either outside linebacker. They rolled him in. They're trying to really stretch the line of scrimmage. They seem to be running a different defense, I guess my long-winded point, a different defense in this half than they started with in the first half. It seems to be doing okay. I mean, I know we scored on the last drive, but the defense looks a little more gap sound.
And the ball off right up the middle. See if that's Coleman or Hauser, the ball carrier.
I believe
that's Coleman. He'll pick up only 1. So 3rd and 9. Pass a minute ago from Bale. Trying to connect with his buddy Xavier Hutchins.
Was about a step short.
And he had a step on his defender too. So
yeah.
He was in great position.
Yep.
Just slightly overthrown.
Yeah, the Kings Mountain wideouts have done a really good job getting off the line of scrimmage. They've kind of been consistently behind the DBs, which is where you want to be.
Coleman's still in the backfield at halfback. Bell drops back. Quick throw over to the right side. That's Texas side this time. He'll get a 1st down and then a couple of more. They'll move the chains. Nice having that big body target out on that far side.
Yeah, such a good route by Tex. He pushes vertical and kind of drops his hips into that hitch so well. And KJ, man, I'm telling you, he is really on the money tonight. It's probably one of his most accurate passing performances I think I've seen from him this year, man. He's really dialed in.
Bell hands it right up the middle. That's Coleman. He's getting away from him. He's got some running room. Picks up maybe 20 yards on the carry. 15, 20 yards on the carry. First down, Kings Mountain. That's Coleman.
Good run by Coleman, seeing the field right there, pushing vertical off his back foot exactly when he needed to. Scrappy yardage, man. I'd love to see guys run north to south. That's why you do it right there.
Mountaineers going to get called off sides on that play. False start against Kings Mountain. It'll cost them 5.
Penalty flag on the play is a false start against the Mountaineers. 5-yard mark-off, still first down.
Get some new personnel in there. But that's not new. That's Sam Bryson on that side. Just miscue by the Mountaineers. Reset the ball. 1st and 15. And flags on the play. They're going to say that Forestview, I think, lined up offside.
And we go back.
Penalty flag on the play is an
encroachment against the Jaguars, so we'll take the 5 yards back. Still 1st and 10. Two steps forward, 2 steps back. Bell hands the ball off. Ball comes out of his hands. It's on the turf. Bell able to fall on it around the 30-yard line. Just kind of a miscue with the snap. So Kings Mountain will retain possession, but lose a lot of yardage in the process.
2nd and about 22. Clock's going to run out for the quarter.
So they'll take the quarter, so will we. Stay with us, more Mountaineer football. Mountaineers on the move, 35-0. Stay with us, more Mountaineer football right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimist, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.
One's the dance team.
Back here live at Forestview High School, watching the Forestview cheerleaders and Forestview dance team. So we get ready for 4th quarter of action. 35-0, Mountaineers lead it. Next week, Kings Mountain will have the open date, and it doesn't get any easier for Forestview as they travel to Crest to take on the Chargers next week.
Coming off of a bye week. The Crest Chargers are on a bye week this week.
You know, it really doesn't get any easier till the end of the season for Forestview. At Crest, at Hunter Huss, they're open. Then they host Ashbrook here at South Point, and then they finish the season up at North Gaston. End around for the Mountaineers. That's Hutchins, the ball carrier. He'll get a few of the yards back, but not too many more. Flag on the play.
Holding on the Mountaineers.
So holding could be the call against Kings Mountain, and it will be against Kings Mountain, so they'll move it back. So 2nd and a bus ride. The only good thing about it is the Mountaineers have shown very quick strike capabilities. Bell rolls out, looks for the deep ball to try to get it all back at one time. He's got a man open right in his arms. Flag on the play. Incomplete.
Once again, another great ball by KJ. He threw that on the run, and it dropped essentially right on to Xavier's chest plate.
Branch was the intended receiver. Awaiting the call. I believe it's going to be pass interference against Forestview, which is a 15-yarder.
Which is like not even half the yardage.
I don't think that's an automatic first down.
I don't think it is in high school, no.
But replay the down.
Correct.
So you got that going for you.
After the penalty, ball placed at the 25-yard line.
So the ball rests at the 25.
Second down at about 18 for the Mountaineers.
But they've got to go all the way down to around the 7-yard line to get a first down.
The scoreboard is saying about 18 to go. That looks about accurate. Second down. Kings Mountain's going to run stack in the boundary with their receivers. Got Tex lined up at fullback, basically. One receiver to the field. Looks like they're
Kind of a jumbo package right here.
Yeah.
But everybody spreads out, going back to pass. That's a bail. He's got a wide open Hutchins, but could not complete it to him. Actually, that was Hopper, the intended receiver. Pass was a little bit high.
Yeah, rare miss by KJ tonight, just a little bit overthrown. You know, it's hard to tell. He had two guys on two different levels. I don't know if he overthrew Hopper or underthrew. I guess it was Xavier that was back there. Not sure which was, but either way, a miscue.
Third down for Kings Mountain. And they've tried a field goal in this area earlier and was about a yard short.
Forestview showing blitz. They're going to bring 7.
Gives it to Coleman. Coleman, a lot of room to run. He's got a hole to run through all the way to the 5. Touchdown, Kings Mountain. So we have lulled them with the pass, and all of a sudden you hit them right up the middle. And
Coleman, man, he runs angry. And he's big enough that he can run hard, and he's small enough that he kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and he said, Mama, I'm coming home.
Mountaineers put 6 more on the board, getting ready for the extra point. And the ball is up, and it is good. Mountaineers go up 42-0. Stay with us. More Mountaineer football to come right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Christy Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting, Carter Bank and Trust, live life to the fullest, The Venue at Turkey Ridge, Butler's Tire and Auto Service, and John Gamble with Carolina Golf.
Thank you for joining us live from Forestview High School. Drew Fulton, along with Cooper Short. My good buddy Mike Hayes over here. He hadn't said anything. I don't think I've even turned his mic on. Maybe not. I don't know. Up here in the press box at Forestview High School. Thank you so much for the coaching staff, the AD, for letting us at least do an audio broadcast.
Here at the lovely and slightly dim around the edges Joe Alala Stadium.
That's what they used to say about me.
Slightly dim around the edges?
Yep.
Yep.
Just slightly.
It kind of creates this very dramatic look at Joe Alala Stadium, but yeah, it is a little dark in the stands, but beautiful pine forest backdrop. Marcus Rhodes back deep for the Jaguars, sitting on about the 10-yard line.
Vance Johnson kicks it away, and it is returnable about the 8-yard line. Takes a short step, crosses the 20. He's still got some running room to the 30, but the Mountaineers run into him.
Vance Johnson on the stop. Love to see when a kicker gets in on the action.
Oh, he loves to go down and makes a tackle.
Vance is a big kid, man. I've been around him on field level more than one occasion. Vance is a
It's the only time they'll let him hit somebody, so he chooses that opportunity.
That's very true.
And player. No, I thought we had a player still down, but no, we do not. So Forestview is talking over just for a minute before they put their offense out there, kind of switching some guys out.
You know, earlier Bowers went out of the game for the Jaguars, seemed to be kind of pulling on his shoulder, and I cannot even identify him standing on the sideline. I don't even know that he's out here right now, and if he is, I don't know that he's wearing his jersey.
Phillips waiting for a running back to come join him. He finally gets one. Knox in the backfield. They hand it to Knox. He'll miss one tackle, but he won't miss the second one. The Mountaineers wrap him up and bring him to the ground after maybe a 1-yard gain. I don't think that Knox was supposed to be in there.
He's also wearing number 56, which is awesome, by the way.
And they'll put Marcus Rhodes back in that position as running back.
Another injury update, Achilles Littlejohn is in a boot and on a set of crutches. So, oh man, speedy recovery for him. Hate to hear that. Hope he gets better and can finish playing the season.
Hand the ball off to Rhodes, but nowhere to go. Mountaineers meet him in the backfield right away. Started off by, that was Deshaun Camp. Was just all in the backfield for the Mountaineers. Brings up a third and about 11. So trips to the high side, one receiver to this side. Rhodes in the backfield with Phillips. Phillips gets the ball, hands it right all the way to Rhodes, but Mountaineers meet him in the backfield.
Deshaun Camp, I think, on the tackle again.
Fourth, he'll lose maybe 3 more. So fourth and about 14. As Rhodes will get ready to punt for Forestview. Kings Mountain, a little bit of confusion on their punt team right now, punt receiving team. Byers and Branch back deep to receive for Kings Mountain. And they get the ball up. It's a high punt, but a short one. So Kings Mountain will get away from it, but it'll take a Kings Mountain roll all the way to the 50-yard line. Kings Mountain will come out 1st and 10 from the 50.
And that's where the Mountaineers will have it 1st and 10. 3:07 remains here in the 4th quarter.
Now this is where this particular point in the game is where a lot of people get upset with how you continue to move your offense at this point.
Sure. Well, I can tell just by glancing, they've already instituted the continuous clock rule, 42 points in the second half, so they tend to just keep the clock rolling. But you're right, Drew. You want to let your kids play. You can't tell them not to play football. You don't want to throw moonshots if you don't have to. You're just trying to get out of here and keep everybody healthy.
So we've got a new quarterback, but a new halfback as well. He's free. Nobody can stop him. 20,
House
10.
call.
Touchdown, Kings Mountain, number 31, the ball carrier, and he's not on my roster.
So he must be a JV guy getting a touch. Good for him, man. Looks like his teammates are pretty excited. I'm happy for him.
So I will have to correct my roster, that's for sure.
There's a 50-yard touchdown run.
And also a new quarterback was in for the Mountaineers as well. So Kings Mountain with a quick score right there. And they wasn't trying to throw the ball deep.
Nope.
Just good blocking.
Yep.
The ball is up, and it is good. So Mountaineers tap on one more. 49-0. Mountaineers lead it. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Innovative Pool Design, Long Branch Land and Water, Brittany Austin and Company, Carolina Elite Plumbing Services, where plumbing's done right, Brad Moffitt with Carolina Chiropractic, and Flooring America.
Back here at Forestview High School, Mountaineers up big, 49-0 over the Jaguars. Fourth quarter. Clock is on a continuous cycle, so we've got about a minute and 14 to go in this ball game. And Kings Mountain getting ready to kick it off deep. That's Mr. Vance Johnson.
Thanks for all who participated in our 50-50 raffle this evening.
Did I miss anything? Was that about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mountaineers once again will have a bye week next week, no game. But the following week we'll be back at home to host North Gaston for our 2025 homecoming. So place your bets now. Vance Johnson kicks it deep. It's returnable. He'll be at the 1 yard line up to the 10, trying to cross the 15 until he runs into a brick wall. Mountaineers take him down. 1st and 10 around the 15. For Forestview.
Forestview might get a couple of plays off.
They may get one play off. Clock is already running 46, 45, 44. They'll get one off at best. Stay with us conclusion when the clock runs out. We'll just wrap up this game real quick. Here from Gastonia. Thanks so much for tuning in to Mountaineer football. Kings Mountain will go to 4-1, 1-1 in the conference. Hand the ball off right up the middle, but no room to run. Mountaineers will have none of it. Bring up 2nd down, and the clock will run out, and that's the ball game, guys. Mountaineers will win this one 49-0. Stay with us. We'll wrap up this game right after this.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimist, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.
Back here at Forestview High School, Mountaineers win it big, 49-0 over the about said it by second time. Forestview Jaguars. Final impressions of this ball game.
Well, seeing as there's a 0 on one side of the scoreboard, you really have to start by acknowledging that the defense played really well tonight. Even despite giving up several pretty big penalties, they still kept. Almost said Jacksonville. There you go. They still kept Forestview scoreless. There's really a lot to be said for that. So proud of those guys. And man, the tail of the tape on offense was when they needed to run, they ran. When they needed to pass, they passed. When they needed to catch, they caught. KJ Bell had an excellent game, threw the ball very accurately. Multiple guys got good touches. overall a pretty clean game. I mean, maybe one holding penalty, maybe a couple of false starts, but with the exception of a couple of personal fouls, which may or may not have been maybe just a little bit ticky-tack. Pretty good game by the Mountaineers. Everybody showed up and I think is leaving the game healthy. That's the biggest thing.
I mean, do you think Forestview just kind of got caught up in a kind of I don't think the word is pissed off, but a team after losing to Catholic last week, just ready to get some of the aggression out. Do you think they just ran into a perfect storm?
Yeah, I think it probably was a little bit of a buzzsaw because as we talked about at the very beginning of the game, Kings Mountain, although they lost last week and there were some things they obviously could have done better, offensively they actually played pretty solid and they had some big chunk plays last week. I think they're starting to get their feet under them as it pertains to passing the ball, and they kind of flexed those muscles tonight. I think it was also kind of a perfect storm in terms of bad matchups for Forestview. Kings Mountain's got some dudes that play receiver, and Forestview decided they needed to play man coverage, and Kings Mountain, just to put it pretty simply, was able to run by them.
Well, just a quick look at our Coldwell Banker Farm Bureau CNC Scrap Iron and Metal scoreboard for the night. Do you have it pulled up?
No, for some reason Verizon Wireless has decided not to work in this exact moment, despite the fact that I had all these pulled up a moment ago.
Let's see. Well, mine's not wanting to work either. Well, we'll close it here. Thank you so much for tuning in to Mountaineer Football. Once again, we're off next week and then back at home for homecoming. Make sure you come out for homecoming at John Gamble Stadium in 2 weeks, 2 Friday nights from right now. I'm Drew Fulton along with Cooper Short. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a presentation of the Kings Mountain Touchdown Club and all the sponsors. I'd like to give a big shout out to all the sponsors and the Touchdown Club, David and Marie Blinkley, our athletic director Kevin Cruz, the entire coaching staff, Jeff Johnson, Dale Revere, Wesley Caldwell, Mike Gann, Tommy Pardo, Brad Melton, Craig Short, Lamont Littlejohn, and of course all of our spouses who give us the opportunity to come out here and do this. Wherever you're listening from, thank you so much for tuning in to us, and we'll see you next time on Mountaineer Football.
KMHS Sports is brought to you by Christie Sellers with Howard Hanna Real Estate, JWH Contracting, Carter Bank and Trust, live life to the fullest, The Venue at Turkey Ridge, Butler's Tire and Auto Service, and John Gamble with Carolina Golf. KMHS Sports is brought to you by Innovative Pool Design, Long Branch Land and Water, Brittany Austin and Company, Carolina Elite Plumbing Services, where plumbing's done right, Brad Moffitt with Carolina Chiropractic, and Flooring America. KMHS Sports is brought to you by Pinpoint Fence, the Kings Mountain Optimist, M&T Plumbing, TC Mechanical, The Gutter Guys, and Butler Outdoor Design.